I fear no man but God. Though I walk through the valley of death, and shed so many tears.
I should die before I wake.
Please, God, walk with me.
Can't take me to heaven. Back in elementary, I thrived on misery. Left me alone, I grew up amongst a dying breed. Inside my mind, couldn't find a place to rest until I got that Doug like tatted on my chest. Tell me, can you feel me? I'm not living in the past, you wanna last. Be the first to blast. Remember Cato, no longer witness see deceits. Call on the siren, seen him murdered in the streets. Now rest in peace. Is there heaven for a G? Remember me, so many homies in the cemetery shed so many tears.
I suffered through the years and shed so many tears.
Lord,
I lost so many peers and shed so many tears.
now that I'm struggling in this business, by any means, label me greedy, getting green, but seldom seen. And the world, cause I'm cursed, I'm having visions of leaving here in the hearse. God, can you feel me? Take me away from all the pressure and all the pain. Show me some happiness again. I'm going blind, I spend my time in the cell, ain't living well. I know my destiny is hell, but did I fail? My life is in denial, and when I die, baptized in eternal fire, shed so many tears. Lord,
I suffered through the years and shed so many tears.
Lord,
I lost so many peers and shed so many tears.
now I'm lost and I'm weary, so many tears. I'm suicidal, so don't stand in me. My every move is a calculated step to bring me closer to embracing early death. Now there's nothing left. There was no mercy on the streets, I couldn't rest. I'm barely standing, about to go to pieces, screaming peace. And though my soul was deleted, I couldn't see it. I had my mind full of demons trying to break free. They planted seeds and they hatched, sparking the flame inside my brain like a match. Such a dirty game, no memories, just a misery. Painting a picture of my enemies killing me in my sleep. Will I survive till the morning to see the sun? Please Lord forgive me for my sins, cause here I come. Lord,
I suffered through the years and shed so many tears.
God,
I lost so many peers.
and Lord knows I tried. Been a witness to homicides and drive-bys taking lives, little kids die. Wonder why as I walk by, broken hearted as I glance at the chalk line, getting high. This ain't the life for me, I wanna change, but ain't no future right for me. I'm stuck in the game, I'm trapped inside a maze. See this Tangeray influence me to getting crazy, disillusioned lately. I've been really wanting babies, so I can see a part of me that wasn't always shady. Don't trust my lady, cause she's a product of this poison. I'm hearing noises, think she's shitting on my boys, can't take no more. I'm falling to the floor, begging for the Lord to let me into heaven's door. Shed so many tears. Lord, lost so many years and shed so many tears.
I lost so many peers and shed so many tears.
Lord,
I suffered through the years and shed so many tears.
Sweet.
Oh man. That song right there. It was at 95? 1995. Sophomore year in high school. A lot of memories with that song. Come on in. How is everybody doing? Hope everybody is doing well. I know it has been a minute. It's been a minute since I have been streaming in this format, but I'm back. I am back. Shout out to Roger Lacey. What's going on? Shout out to Costas. What's going on? Shout out to all the moderators in the building. Great Polo, Kelvin Birch, Giorgio. What's going on? Zup Chuck. What else? Kelvin Birch said he been working. Shout out to Craig Freeman. What's up? Shout out to all the MGMs. Zup Chuck says whole monetization gone from that song. Absolutely. Who owns the Tupac estate? Who owns the Tupac estate now? Is it a corporation that owns Tupac? They will be getting all the revenue from this stream, but we don't give a goddamn. We don't give a goddamn. All right? Because we don't care about them twos and them fews and them pennies and whatever they is. We don't care. We wanted to hear Pac. We wanted to hear some Pac, so we heard some Pac. So come on in, come on in. Great Polo, Kelvin Bird, Zup Chuck. Zup Chuck said he been lurking. Truesdale, hello Mark, checking in from Baltimore, Maryland. Hey Mark, I would like to join your membership only club. How do I get to join, sir? You hit the join button under any video or on the main channel page. The main channel page or under any video, there should be a little join button. Just tap it. All right. It's not something I can post. That's something that you got to go look for. It's on the should be on the main channel page or the under any video. What else? Rich Jew, what's going on? What's going on? Representing from the crib. Chris Reamer say he finally caught a live. Raphael Israel, what's going on? Jonathan, all the MGMs in the building. What's going on? Is the walk in the building? I have an iPhone, but I do have an Android and a Microsoft laptop. So yeah, check all three platforms and operating systems and see which one you see it on. I don't see it, so I would do a screen share, but since it's my channel, it doesn't show the button for me. All right. Shout out to Tiff representing Dallas, Rick Clayton representing Detroit. What else? Andrew Gray, what up? James Bristol, North Carolina. Yandell TV, what up? All is well, all is well, all is well. All right, so this is a Q&A. I ain't did a Q&A in a while. Been doing call-in shows, haven't did it's like a basic Q&A. So we're gonna do that tonight. Not gonna be on long. So for all those people that be hitting me up in my DMs that I'll never get a chance to respond to because they're flooded, and I'm not finna sit there and go through all of them. You know, if you watch the live streams, I say, yo, call in show. That's your opportunity. Call in show. But I'm doing a Q&A tonight, real brief. Not gonna be on here all night. All right. I want to go do something real quick. You did what I'm saying. So I got to get out of here. All right. So let's get those Q&A. If you one of those people that be blowing me up, talking about you got questions, now is the time. Now is the time. We are going to do a call-in show this week. I don't know what day. And I am also working on something really, 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 really cool for the channel. Hopefully I can have it done by tomorrow and we can do the first episode of that tomorrow night. Hopefully, if not, maybe one day next week if we are finished with it. 5-Star Logistics, what's going on? Good evening. Friday is my last day running that Waco contract. What happened? Is the contract dissolved or what's going on with it? Z Vision, Mount Pleasant, Texas in the building. What's going on? All right, so Q&A, man. Who got questions? I got answers. Hopefully you guys been checking out those pop-up live streams I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. I did a bunch of pop-up live streams last week and pretty much all last week, and I did some couple earlier this week too. I went and visited my trucks at the yard finally. I actually charged one up and after I left later that day, or was it the next day, I was kind of reminiscing like, man, like, do I really want to sell both of these trucks? I might just sell one and hold on to one. You know, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll use one for content. Maybe one day, you know, I'll get out there and show you guys how it's really done, man. Maybe I'll take like a little 30-day contract and do like a little 30-day experiment and show y'all how it's really done. All right, but I gotta feel it, man. I gotta feel it. Life is good, man. So that's something I would have to commit to. You know what I'm saying? So, and I ain't really I don't want to commit to that. So, but maybe if I get the feeling, if somebody piss me off and say, man, you can't do this, maybe I get out there and show you what can be done. Maybe, So I don't know. Just getting in the truck and I just, I had that feeling, man, that feeling. So I don't know. Costa says, Mark, please drop the call-in link. Somebody want to call in on the non-call-in day? Who want to call in on the non-call-in day? We got the call-in for the call-in day. Who wants to call in on the non-call-in day, man? Andrew Green said, make sure you do it before it gets cold. I'm just talking, Andrew Green. I'm finna tell you now, I ain't getting in no goddamn truck. Man, I'm just talking shit. It's in my brain. My brain said, man, Mark, get out there and create some content. Show these guys how to do it. But in reality, I know I'm just talking shit. You think I'm finna get on the truck and be at a goddamn 3PL at 5 in the morning? Because I'm only going to do it for 30 days. I'm only going to do it for 30 days. So I ain't going to leave them hanging, and I know I'm not finna go do it. I ain't finna do that. I'm just talking shit. I feel it. Sitting in the truck, charging it up. I was reminiscing and stuff. I feel it. But I ain't finna go do that. I'm just tweaking right now. Don't listen to nothing I'm saying when it come to me getting in the truck. That shit ain't gonna happen. That shit is not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? All right. That ain't gonna happen. All right. The best you may catch me. Maybe if my OG, you know what I'm saying, like she like to donate shit. If she buy like a bunch of bikes like she did a few Christmases ago, I might, go pick them up. Or, if a friend need like a truck. I had a friend needed a truck a week ago, but I hadn't been to the yard to charge those batteries up, so I couldn't loan him one. But if let's say somebody needs something done like this summer, I might go help, and then if I do, maybe I'll bring the camera along and create some content around it. Maybe show y'all how to wrap some things and carry some things and shit like that. But doing something dedicated, I ain't doing that. Forget about it. Forget about it. All right, Costas, you want me to drop the link? I dropped the link. Zupchuck said Mark like his house too much. Listen, man. I saw somebody say, or they subscribe and say, Mark be barricaded in the house. I want to address that. Mark bought his crib in 2014. All right, so whether I'm barricaded in the house or not barricaded in the house, I bought the place that I love, and being barricaded in the house, to me, that's not a bad thing. To me, it's a flex. Being in the crib, to me, is a flex. So to anybody who thinks that being in the house is a bad thing, you tripping. Being in the crib is a flex. I can do whatever I want when I want, and I have a beautiful home that I could just be in. That's a flex. That ain't nothing bad. When people think that just let me know where they head and they mind frame is at. You can't get mad at nobody for buying their time back. How you gonna get mad at somebody for buying their time back? I thought that was what the goal was. I thought the whole goal to get out here to bust your ass was to buy your time back. Some people, it takes 35 years. It took my OG 34 years to buy her time back. All right. It takes some people longer than that. You got some people that work 35, 40 years, retire from they career job, and then have to go get a part-time job. You see all those little old people greeting you when you go into Walmart? Those are retirees. Those people are retired that had to go get a part-time job. Those little old ladies, when you go to TJ Maxx and Ross and Macy's that be working the fitting room, the little older ladies, the senior citizens, those are retirees. They have to take a part-time job because their pension isn't enough. So they are still working because they're not in a position to fully buy their time back. The goal is to work really, really hard, make the right moves, the right investments to buy your time back. So how is that a bad thing? When people say shit like that or whatever, subscribers or whoever they are, it just lets me know where their mental and their mind frame is at. These are the guys that are going out doing dumb shit. These are the guys that are robbing Peter to pay Paul because they're misappropriating their funds. They're going out, they're making their money, they're tricking it off, or they're living above and beyond their means. They're not delaying their gratification. They're going to be working for the rest of their life. They're going to be working for the rest of their life. All right? Who doesn't buy a crib not to be in it? All right? I bought it. 2014, I rarely was here. 2015, rarely was here. 2016, rarely was here. 2017 was rarely here. 18 wasn't here. 19 wasn't here. 20 wasn't here. 21 wasn't here. 22 wasn't here. I didn't start enjoying this place until 2023. This is my second year in 10 years of being here that I really got to enjoy it. So when somebody say some dumb shit about being barricaded in the house, I don't look at it as a bad thing. You may look at it as a bad thing. To me, it's a motherfucking flex. So you get up early in the morning, go drive your truck, do what it is you got to do all day. I'll be here. Okay, I'll be here doing whatever it is that I'm doing. I'll leave here. I'll go to the gym. I'll get my workout in. I may stop at the grocery store, make sure I get my vegetables, my low carb mission shells. I like to get my my cauliflower pizza. I prefer Beyond. I'm not really an Impossible guy. I make sure I get my Beyond steak, my Beyond, meat, plant-based burger, patty, meat, and whatever else I need, my feta cheese, some tomatoes, you know what I'm saying? I do my little grocery shopping, go on my little dates. I got a couple, I got a date Friday. Sunday, I got a date. It's Mother's Day. I'm going to take my mother out on the town. So I go out. But for the most part, I'm in the crib. You dig what I'm saying? So it's a flex. Don't get mad because you out all day. I was once out all day too. But guess what? I bought the place and was never here. So when people say dumb shit, I know that's an individual who will never buy their time back. Never. Because to say something like that, it lets me know that whoever said it was very, very ignorant. And I know they're watching. You're ignorant. You are an ignorant fool. You are an ignorant fool. And this is the shit that I be talking about. I'm supposed to run the street, 44 years old. If I ain't got a place to be, what I'm just running the street. I did that shit when I was 19, 20, 21, running the street, nowhere to go, riding down the block, riding up Stony Island, riding up 79th, bumping sounds, nowhere to go. Police steady pulling me over, giving me tickets, steady having to go to court for loud music, hanging out on South Chicago all time of the night, going to parties, going to clubs. This time, 44 years old. People just say shit because they want to be in that position. And instead of saying, you know what, salute, they say dumb shit. And then I have to come back and put shit into perspective. All right, Costas, I dropped the link. What's up? Did you want me to drop it for you, or Was it somebody else that wanted to come up? Because this is a Q&A, but not like a call-in Q&A. But if you want me to drop it for you, then the link is in the chat. Big Sack say you go to Bed Bath & Beyond for sure, G. Never been to Bed Bath & Beyond before a day in my life. But I can tell you I made a lot of money off Bed Bath & Beyond thanks to a company called Nonstop Delivery when I was cross-docking. Bed Bath & Beyond was one of the contracts we had. So I don't go to Bed Bath & Beyond, Charlie. But I made money with Bed Bath & Beyond. That was definitely one of the contracts I had in 2017 and 2018. So I don't know if that was a joke but never been there personally in the store, but a lot of their merchandise was shipped to my warehouse. All right. What else? As we facts friends always say, yo, why don't you come outside? Why don't you like people who would tell them outside or what, hang in the corner? Yes, I don't like people like that. We're riding on West Side, riding on Madison Avenue, Grand Avenue, Milwaukee Avenue, and Addison, Wrigleyfield. Yeah, we used to ride out west. We used to be in Garfield Park Fridays and Saturday nights in the circle back in the day. Let's see. Kevin Burke said he was homeless for 48 days. Once the Lord blessed me with a new apartment, it's the best damn feeling. Congratulations, man. I'm glad you landed your new apartment, man. What insurance broker would you recommend? The only insurance broker I would recommend is the insurance broker that I've had since day one. I've only had one broker, so that would be the one that I would recommend. I don't know any other brokers. I've only dealt with one. Nightcrawler saying ain't nothing better than being in the crib. God damn it. Ain't that the truth? Ain't nothing wrong with being in the crib, you know. It's your safe haven, you know. You build and you design a crib to be comfortable in it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with it. But you know, some people just say shit because they got hate in their heart, you know, or jealousy or envy, you know. I don't know, you know. So it is what it is. It is what it is. 5-star said, Mark, unfortunately, it's safer staying in the house. In most cases, it is. But you know, I mean, here's the thing. When you get to a certain age, running the streets is like, if I don't have nowhere to go, then I'm not going nowhere. But like I said, back in the day, in my older or latter teenage years, all through my 20s, I couldn't sit still. You couldn't pay me to sit still. You know what I'm saying? I had to be somewhere. I could tell you, when I was 19, where was we at? Friday night, I was at the convent. Saturday night, biology bar. Friday night, biology bar. Sunday night, dragon room. Monday night, plush. I think Thursday night, Andromedas. Thursday night, Andromedas, or the convent, or the Baja Beach Club. Sunday nights, Nitro, until I got 21. Then I was at all those clubs. Or Thursday night, Voyeur. Thursday nights, I had a bunch of shit to go to. Voyeur, the convent, Baja Beach Club, Andromedas. Ferris Thomas spinning at Andromedas. And then as I got older and the club scenes changed, Thursday night, Ruby, Velocity, Sunday night, Dragon Room, till it switched to Boutique, Hearts on Sunday nights, after it switched from Slicks. Like every night I was somewhere. Thursday night, Secrets every Thursday night. Every Thursday night. Didn't miss a Thursday night at Secrets. Red No 5 Thursdays and Tuesdays. A lot. These clubs ain't even there no more. We talking about 20 years ago. Even in the early 2010s, I'm still Red No 5 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Secrets on Thursdays. Saturdays, some Fridays, Sundays at Zentra. Every night I'm somewhere. Every night. Wednesday, Hogs and Honey. Mondays, Plush. Hearts on Saturday nights. Person's supposed to run the streets for the rest of their life and ran the streets for 15, 20 years. Running the streets for. Hey Mark, have you ever moved commercial washers and dryers before? Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Gonna have to use your straps, buddy. Your hump straps. Your hump straps. Your hump straps. That's where your hump straps come in. Either your hump straps or your shoulder straps. Your hump straps or your shoulder straps. Hey Mark, can you give some examples for sales calls for moving leads as far as landing them? So boom, if you are working off a lead generating service like Thumbtack, the first thing you have to do is already have an automated reply already set up. You need to have it set up and already saved. It's generic, basically a greeting the customer, listing your rates based on the men, 2 men, and a 16-foot truck, or 2 men and a 26-foot truck, or however you do it, at X amount of dollars an hour with a 2-hour minimum, 3 guys in a whatever truck, blah 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 blah. Obviously, you would have a few of these already written generic quotes already ready. So based on the lead that you get, you would know which one to send them. So if you got, let's say, a 16 and a 26 footer, and somebody sends you a lead for a 1-bedroom, obviously you're not going to send them a 26-foot quote. You're going to send them generic quotes for a 16-footer. And then after you send them the generic quote, then you immediately call them and say, hey, this is so-and-so with so-and-so movers. Just got your request for a quote on Thumbtack. I did send you a basic quote. Did you get a chance to look at it yet? 9 times out of 10, they're going to say no, because you're calling me immediately, because you understand that you're not the only company that got sent that lead. So, you got to hurry up. So they're going to be like, no. All right, well, did you have a moment to take a look at it? Sure. All right. Yeah, what's your name? Yep, I'm ABC123, blah, 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 blah. Yep. Okay, so I see you charging 2 men and a 16-foot. It's going to be X amount of 3 men and a 16-foot or so many amount. Yeah, can you give me a little bit more details about your move? Because I know the Thumbtack app on your side doesn't really offer you too much. Can you go a little bit in detail? Yeah, it's a 1-bedroom. We're moving from the first floor. It's just a standard 1-bedroom set, fully furnished, a living room set. I don't have a dining room. Got about 50 boxes, and that's about it. Moving from a first floor to an elevator building on a 50th floor. Moving from a first floor to a 3rd floor walk up. Boom, automatically, you're going to need 3 guys, right? 3rd floor walk up, you're going to need 3 guys. Elevator building, you're going to need 3 guys, right? I already ran down why you need 3 guys for an elevator building. I already gave you the landscape of why an elevator building takes longer than a walk up. So then you push and you sell them on the 3 guys. Well, I really don't need 3 guys because it's just a 1-bedroom, and I really don't have that much stuff. Dennis, when you hit them with, I hear what you're saying, man, but from my side of it, a 3rd floor or an elevator building, it requires 3 guys, and then you give them the reason why. With a 3rd floor, they're running up 3 flights of stairs, so we got a guy that's unloading the truck, and then we got 2 guys running the stairs. Because if we only send 2 guys, ma'am, that means that they're gonna have to constantly come back to the truck, get on the truck, go to the back of the truck, pull stuff to the front, because only one guy can't carry your 2-man items by itself. With the 3rd guy, it makes for more of an efficient move. That way we got a guy on the truck that's unloading the truck, that's pushing the stuff to the edge of the truck. So when these guys come, they don't have to crawl up on the truck and walk through the truck. They can just snatch the stuff off the edge of the truck or we have good third man that can pretty much carry some of that stuff to the doorway and have it sitting at the doorway for the guy. It's for a much faster, more efficient move, because after about the third or the fourth hour, if you go with two guys, it's going to end up costing you more money. This is how you sell them, right? Same thing with an elevator building. Well, man, it's an elevator building. I don't really need two guys. I'd rather go with the two guys for the 100 instead of the three guys for the 150. Well, ma'am or sir, if the third guy is a more efficient move, with an elevator building, you have to understand that the movers are going to have to touch the stuff twice. They're going to have to unload the truck to the elevator, and then they're going to have to unload the elevator on your floor to the apartment. So they're going to have to touch the items twice. So it's best to have three guys because it makes for a more efficient move. When the crew is upstairs unloading the elevator, carrying that stuff or pushing that stuff on the dolly down the hallway, you still have that third guy that's down, and he's using the dollies, he's using the four-wheelers, he's unloading that truck, he's carried that truck, those items through the dock to the elevator. So when they're unloading the elevator with whatever trip they're on, their first or their second trip, when they come back down, instead of them going back to the truck, they already have a bunch of stuff right there at the elevator waiting for them, and all they have to do is load the elevator and come back up. And that guy that's downstairs, he's steady unloading the truck, setting that stuff. It makes for a faster move. That way you don't have to have these guys going back to the truck, carrying the stuff and loading. It's going to take longer. I guarantee you, when you break it down to them, they're going to go with the third guy, because you have to understand they aren't movers. So they don't know what's more efficient and what's not efficient, because they don't do this. You do this. So when you're upselling them, you have to break it down this way so that they understand they're saving money. Because when you do get into that third or fourth hour with two guys, it's going to end up costing them more. It's going to end up costing them more money, because some of these jobs, two guys, it might take them 6 hours to do, where it'll take three guys, let's say 4 hours. So it'll either end up costing them more money with two guys, right? Or it'll end up costing them less time with three guys, and it'll be the same amount of money. And 99% of the time, the customers are going to want to save money or time or both. All right. So this is how you sell them. All right. You got to know the business. You got to know the ins and outs of the business so that you sound like you know what you're talking about when you're selling them. Abrit Beaumont, can you tell me about Waco Industries? Is it the same as T-Force? It's similar. It's pretty much the same idea. They're both 3PLs. Just they have different contracts. Their most similar contract is Staples and Office Depot. Same concept. They're both 3PL. You seen me at the Lucky Horseshoe Lounge not long ago. Where's the Lucky Horseshoe Lounge at? Where's the Lucky Horseshoe Lounge at? Where's that at? Lucky Horseshoe Lounge? I'd never even heard of that place. Where's the Lucky Horseshoe Lounge at? The Lucky Horseshoe Lounge? You ain't seen me there. I've never even heard of that place. Lucky Horseshoe Lounge. Nah, you never seen me there. Never even heard of that place. But I think this is a troll. I think this person's a troll. We let him slide. But you know what? We're not gonna play no games. We're not gonna play no games. Yeah, we ain't gonna play no games. We just gonna get them out the way early. Hey Mark, the prices of commercial vehicles are low, right? Is it a good idea to purchase another vehicle now? Do you think the price will go up in the future for resale value or profit? Hey Mark, the prices of commercial vehicles are low right now. Is it a good idea to purchase another vehicle now? Do you think the price will go up in the future for resale. So vehicles are a depreciating asset, right? So the reason they went up during the pandemic is because there was a shortage of vehicles. Manufacturing of new vehicles was non-existent because plants were shut down, right? And then when they opened back up, the supply chain was delayed, right? So because there was a demand for vehicles, that made the cost of used vehicles go up, right? We're not going to see anything like a pandemic anytime soon in this lifetime. I don't think ever again. So vehicles are always depreciating. You get a new vehicle, you drive it off the lot, you automatically lose value. So no, I think if you buy a truck now, the only thing that's going to happen is the more you drive it, the value is going to go down. The older it gets, the more you drive it, the value is going to go down. All right. Now, if we get some type of black swan, event like a pandemic, then there's a possibility it'll appreciate. But if nothing like that happens, then no. Daily pay rate once you were legit. Yeah, so some were hourly. Obviously, the movers were hourly. The some of the 3PL contracts, they were based on a day rate, right? So Office Depot, they got paid $100 a day. Like a lot of the select jobs, they got paid per stop. A lot of the contracted work that was cross docked to my warehouse was per stop. Um, so my movers were by the hour, and all my final mile stuff was either a daily rate or a per stop rate. Do you offer one-on-one? Yep. For a limited time only. For a limited time only. Frank Griffin, what up? Nightcrawler says sounds like Kurt. Nah, it's not Kurt. That's somebody that's trolling. That's somebody that's trolling. When companies ask you to off logos, etc., they mean DOT numbers as well? No. So if a company tells you, let's say they want like a basic white truck, that means they just don't want a branded truck. So they don't want a truck that's wrapped, or they don't want a truck that's lettered with like your company, name, logo, slogan all on the front, back, and side of it, right? So your company name on the door, obviously, your DOT MC number, zip code, and all that stuff, that magnet that you put on your door, the lettering that you put on your door, you got to have that anyway. When they're talking about that, they just don't want a fully wrapped branded truck, So that's what they mean. Do you have a list of 3PL companies that deal with solo box truck drivers, either local or over the road? Or have you done an episode on it before? And if so, is there a link for it? Do you have a list of 3PL companies that deal with solo box truck? Yeah, I've done episodes. I pretty much profiled most or all of the 3PL companies within the past 2 years. When you're talking about solar, you're talking about curbside. So you're looking at companies like T-Force. AIT has a curbside now because they picked up Home Depot. Not Waco. Capstone has some opportunities for curbside. TQL has some opportunities for curbside too in some markets. It's limited. R&L Carrier has opportunity for curbside. So yeah, you have to see which companies have one-man curbside final mile opportunities available. But yeah, I've talked about them in a numerous amount of live streams, more so than videos. Two shows. Let me see. I'm trying hey Mark, do you believe when work with Ghost Share Freight, they charge $35 for background check? Do you believe you get more guaranteed gigs if you pay the background check? Hey Mark, do you believe when work with Ghost Share Freight, they charge $35 for background check? Do you believe you get more guaranteed gigs? Well, some if they're telling you that, are they telling you you got a background check to get on the app, or they're saying they're gonna open you up to more opportunities? If they're saying they're gonna open you up to more opportunities with being background check, I say get background check. I mean, what's $35? You know, if it's $35 is an investment for you to make more money, then do it. If you got to get background check to get any opportunity, then that's $35 you got to do. These companies ain't paying for background checks no more. You know, back in the day, they would cover your background check. Like companies are cutting costs any and every way possible. One of the main reasons they doing it because a lot of people know they not going to pass a background check, but they submit for a background anyway. So somebody's going to pay it. It's either going to be you or the company. So a lot of people will have a company run their background knowing goddamn well they've been in jail for an attempt or whatever, a essay or some crazy that they know they're not going to get the position, right? But here's the thing, when they force you to pay for the background check yourself, you're not going to waste your money because you know you're not going to pass it no way. So that's why they making people pay for them background checks now. They saving their money. Listen, you want the opportunity, pay for the background check. You see what I'm saying? So uh let me see. That shit messed up. Shit bad. While building your business, did you build a team of? While building your business, did you build a team of advisors? Is yes. How long did that take you? Nope. No advisors, just me. I had office staff, operations, fleet manager, operations manager, and an assistant. And then I had the accountant firm, which we were paying, and like my outside sourced company, like my accounting firm and shit like that. But with inside, just the operations, fleet manager, and my assistant, who pretty much handled all the paperwork. Advisors, no. I didn't know nobody that knew the business. I didn't know nobody that knew business anyway. Um, I had to learn everything on my own. So I didn't know anybody that was in trucking. I didn't know anybody that was in moving to, advise me. So I had to learn everything on my own. Um, I would get pointers as far as purchasing things and shit like that from my accountant, right? And then my broker, he, schooled me to things about insurance. Now my commercial landlord for the warehouse, I learned some things. He taught me some things about business. He gave me some advice, like with Fleetmatics. He's the one who told me about Fleetmatics because Fleetmatics is what he used for his fleet. So like that's how I found out about Fleetmatics. I learned from my broker and my car salesman that leasing was better than purchasing, and they taught me why. So like different people that I that weren't in the company, that were outsourced, um uh uh outsourced companies that handled different things, like my insurance broker, my accountant, my landlord, shit like that. I learned things from them. They gave me just advice, as they saw that I was a young, growing entrepreneur, but like paid advisors, nah. Shout out to Marie. Uh, Personally, I keep them all. They aren't the greatest, but they do drop gems. Dispatch has been keeping me busy, calling me every night to handle a large construction material company here. Cool. That's good. That's good. I think it's best to have them all on deck because you never know what opportunities each one may present to you day to day. Uh, so it's best to not. I've always been an advocate of not putting all your eggs in one basket, man. You are an independent contractor, so you can float wherever you want to go. So it's best to keep your options open. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be tied down to one particular app. One you may think is trash, and then one day you may just see an opportunity that you're not accustomed to seeing. So I wouldn't count anybody out. Just keep your options open. Make sure you are signed up and onboarded for all of them because you never know. The one that you hate the most or the one that may not offer you any opportunity today when the other ones aren't offering anything, that may be the one that day that may have the opportunity of a lifetime for you. So let me see. Do 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 do. Frank Griffin, what up? I'm trying to work things out with Spark Delivery and waiting on Kerry to get with me. Yeah, so it's best to just sign up for those because the waiting list may be kind of long. It may take a while to get on board. So you want to sign up. It may take you a year. You know, they don't want to oversaturate these apps because they want to make sure that the people that are already on are getting opportunities. If they allow everybody on, then the apps will be oversaturated, and then people will really be complaining about them. So, do 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 do. Let me see. Did I miss anything? Do 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 do. All right. Any other questions? Pay is not good. Plus, you have to wait 30 seconds to accept the job. But once the 30 seconds are up, it says the job isn't available anymore. Happens all the time. Nas Boxing says good chat today. Do CL box trucks pay more if you're pulling a heavier load? Yeah. CDL box trucks are cheaper, you know, and it does present you the opportunity to make more money. So yeah. Ever sold an MC? Nope. I had a guy reach out to me this morning and he was really adamant about booking a coaching session, and I'm like, all right, we'll go to the website. He was like, well, I don't need that much time. I only got an actual question. I'm like, well, all right, wait till the next call-in show. He's like, I can't wait till the next call-in show. I'm thinking about buying this company, and the closing for buying this box truck company is tomorrow. I really need to talk with you. But I only need like 10 minutes. I just got to ask you a question. Well, I'm like, well, if you don't want to wait till the next call show, I don't know what to tell you, man. If you don't want to book it online, he's like, well, he basically said, can I give you this to get you on the phone for a few minutes? So I'm like, all right, whatever. I get on the phone with him this afternoon, and he's telling me that it's this box truck company that he wants to buy for like $78,000. So it comes with the truck, obviously the DOT, the MC. They have Amazon account, right? They're accepted. They just never ran a load for them, and they grow $78,000. I think he said last year, and the truck is like it was a 2009, and he was like, I just want your advice. You think I should buy it or not? I said, no. I said, if they only made 78,000, that's a failing company. Why would you want to buy that? And he said, well, I'm just really buying it for the MC. The truck is around about 30,000, which to me, it's a 2009. So maybe 20, 25,000, I would think at most. He said the truck is about worth 30,000. Really, I'm just spending the extra 20 something thousand because for the business, because I don't want to go through the process of setting it up. He's like, I talked them down to 55,000, so they'll give me everything for 55. He's like, so would you do it? I'm like, no. Nah, I set my own company up. Well, man, I could be up and running. I'm like, well, here's the thing. And they already got Amazon. I said, yeah, they got it, but you said they never ran it. Is a reason why they probably never ran it. Have you looked at the rates in that market? He's like, no. So why would they have something set up and never run it? And $78,000 gross, I would rather just, I said, see if they'll just sell you the truck. I'd rather buy the truck and just, build my own MC. I mean, you're going to spend $23,000, $25,000 for a 20-day waiting period. I just want to just kind of be up and running. Do you think it's good? I could just put a driver in. I'm like, man, you're going to have to drive that truck yourself. So there's this guy earlier, he called me. He wants to buy a company. And I'm like, they're basically unloading their problem to you. 78,000. And then it was 3 partners for this one box truck. They only grow $78,000. They got Amazon, but they never ran it. They're trying to offload their failing company to you. You don't acquire a failing company. You acquire a company that's profitable. I said, basically, you buying this company is pretty much buying their problem off of them. You might, oh, that was you? Oh, okay. Well, he's in the chat. So, yeah. So he's in the chat. So that was a conversation I had earlier with this gentleman here. So asking me that question, Jonathan, when I buy a person's MC, no, I wouldn't buy a person's MC ever. I would just build my own. I don't want anybody's problems. I don't want anybody's anything. I'd rather build my own box trucking business from scratch. And there's a plethora of reasons why. Some of the reasons I just gave you for the gentleman I spoke with this morning. And then there's a bunch of other reasons. I'd rather build an MC from scratch. Now, if we were talking about maybe like a restaurant or something like that, where I'm looking at foot traffic coming in, I can look at their sales, this, that, and third, then that's different. But a box truck company that's running off a load board is nothing guaranteed. I'm not really buying something. They're looking for loads week in and week out. So it's not guaranteed. It's not even something that's, I'm buying a business that has, let's say, like a contract, like a government contract, or like a federal contract or something that I'm buying into something that's already guaranteed. Buying an MC, especially for a company that's running off a load board, you're just buying. You're not really buying, like, you're buying their company just to go search for your own loads the same way that they're searching for loads. Just buy a truck and search for loads. Keep that extra money and build it up yourself. It doesn't, listen, the whole thing about box trucking that a lot of people are missing, I talk about all the time, the margins are low and you got to work. If you're not willing to work and stay out on the road, you're not going to really make no money. If you're going to stay out on the road, right, and work, and you're going to keep your costs low, then you'll make money. All right? You got to get out there. You got to get out there yourself and do the work. All right? You're not going to make no money. That dream that people were pushing during the pandemic, oh, get you a box truck and, stream of revenue while you go keep your career, your job. You put a person in a box truck, and no. We saw that was cap. And when I was telling people it was cap, they didn't believe me. But now everybody sees it's cap, right? Because one, the margins aren't there, and two, keeping somebody or hiring somebody and retaining them is hard within itself, right? So, no, you're better off just sourcing a truck, starting the MC, and building it from scratch. That's what I would do. And that's my, that's my honest to God opinion. I had some random guy calling me, offering me 10K for mine and keeps asking my Amazon score. That sounds like a scam. I would stay away from that. I wouldn't even answer. If it's a random guy that's calling you out of nowhere, then no. If you're not advertising that you're selling anything, some random guy calling you sounds like a scam, I would stay away from that. There's a lot of scams going on right now. You gotta be careful out here, man. What's new for the 16-foot box truck? Same thing. Office supplies, moving, gigs. So you can make good money with a 16-footer if you want to start a small moving company. And if you're in a market that has bulk freight, you'll make good money doing bulk office supply delivery. So you know, 16-footers are good, but what gets me is when people start with 16-footers to go over the road. That's not a good idea. 16-footers are more local. Moving is good, and if you can get like a guaranteed contract, that's good. Let me see what else we got. I just applied for my MC and DOT yesterday. What's next? Wait. Find you a broker. Get you a truck. Find you a broker so you can get insurance. UCR, BOC3. I'll be trying to source a truck and find a broker to shop you some insurance for that truck. Yeah, Jonathan, there's a lot of scams going on, so you might want to. Was that Jonathan that asked that, or was it Anthony? Somebody, whoever asked about the MC, yeah, be careful on that. To know. All right, what is Kelvin talking about? All right, I know you had a lot of people on standby for work once you started booming, but how did you deal with the difficult employee? I fired them. No, I didn't really fire a lot of people. I've told this story before. I've actually had an employee come on and talked about my ruthlessness. You know, somebody said they contacted some people they knew from here in Chicago, and they told them I was a bully. I was never a bully. I was just a shrewd businessman, you know, and moving and delivery, you know, final mile delivery, you know, and if you remember the Rob episode, you know, he told you I'm dealing with a lot of street guys, a lot of guys from the street, right? So you got to run, you know, that business accordingly. You have to run it with an iron fist. So I didn't necessarily fire people. For me to fire you, you really had to do something to just tick me off. What I would do, like Rob said, I would play with your money. All right, I would just play with your money. You piss me off, I'm gonna give you a week to think about it. If you really piss me off, I may give you 2 weeks to think about it. You know, and normally when I, you know, cut a person water off, they wouldn't make that mistake again. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I deal with everybody gonna deal with their company different. You gotta, you know, once you start running a business, you're gonna know what you're dealing with. You know, everybody's business is gonna be different. Everybody's market is different. Everybody's circumstances is different. My market is not gonna be a person who's running this business in Middle America's market. Why? Because your applicant ain't gonna be my applicant. All right. In this industry with moving, at that time period, you only gonna get one of a few types of employees. You weren't gonna get no college graduate. You were getting people who the world wasn't given opportunities to. A lot of the guys that I had exes. They couldn't go out and get a legitimate job, you know. So, you know, they only could resort to like really labor intensive jobs. Moving was one of them, right? Mark will give you an opportunity, you know, as long as you weren't no thief, you know what I'm saying? Mark will give you an opportunity. Um, and, you know, some of these guys, you know, that were still institutionalized, you know, that had never worked a job before in their life, you know, you know, you know, training them on the difference between business and the street was difficult, you know. So, you know, in order to snap people out of the behavior, you know what I'm saying, I would give them time off. You know, give them time off to think about it. And when you giving a person a time off who's making decent money and this is their lifeline, it snaps them up out of it. All right. A lot of the issues that I used to have were amongst people bickering, right? When you're dealing with certain types of individuals in this type of business, you know, a lot of guys who come from the street and come from different parts of the city, you know, and you putting them on a truck together. Um, Sometimes it, you know, wouldn't go well. So it would be mostly, you know, bickering amongst some crews. Some guys, you know, you could put like, let's say if I had a guy that came in and then let's say he brought a guy or two in and okay, I'll keep that crew together. They work good together. That's they are know each other. But when you bring somebody on a new one, you got to stick this guy who, let's say, is a Blackstone from wherever he's from, Motown. Then I'm sticking him on a truck with two GDs, you know, and and even though these guys are older and they work it, you know, they'll get on the job and you know the job it's not like they not beefing on their areas. It's like don't nobody want to take direction. So a lot of the issues used to be, yo, this is the person I got in charge. Usually the driver on the truck is the person in charge, and you know that person is giving direction. You know these guys would be like, well, I ain't listening to you. You not Mark. And then that's where the beefs would start, and then that's where the neighborhood gang shit would come into play, and then that's when I would have to make the decision on who is, you know, the person that I really need to keep and who is the person who's stirring up the confusion, the person who's stirring up the confusion, and I got to give them time off to think about it, right? So when you just had guys like that, obviously if someone damaged something or broke something, they just had to pay for it. But my biggest most effective way of dealing with people was just giving them time off. I've had grown men after a week of not working. You know, I wouldn't just say take a week off. I'd be like, man, call me tomorrow. Hey, Mark, you got me on the schedule tomorrow? Nah, not tomorrow. Call me tomorrow. Mark, you got me on the schedule tomorrow? Nah, call me tomorrow. Like I knew I want to put him on the schedule all week, but I'm just fucking with him. Like I was ignorant because I wanted you to understand, like, yo, you messed up. So every day, all right, call me tomorrow. And every day, now call me tomorrow. And then, you know, I've had grown men call me crying. Like, I'm talking about hardened cats. I'm talking about cats with attempts, all type of shit. Call, crying, middle of the night, begging. You know what I'm saying? And then I have to explain to him, yo, this is what you did. Well, we can't really hide this as a business, man. This ain't the street. This is the person who on the truck who I got running shit, yo. I don't need y'all going back and forth in front of customers. That's not professional. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was a big thing about tips and shit. You know, people, I remember it was this one crew. It was this guy, right? I guess he used to steal the tips. So what happened is when the customers would cash out, he would tell the guys to go to the truck. Y'all go to the truck and fold a blanket. So he'll take the payment. Then when the customer get him the tip to divide up amongst the crew, he'll either keep it or he'll, let's say if it's $100, he might keep 80 of it and give each guy 90 and say, man, customer tip $30, shit like that. So like I had that crew, they wanted to J down on this guy, right? Like they was finna do him dirty. So I had to get in between that. They called, complained. We monitored the situation, but we can only monitor it so much because we not on the job. So we're monitoring the situation to the point when we found out, yeah, he was doing that. And then I had to have a conversation with him and get him out of it. And then his excuse was, well, man, I'm doing more work than them, so they don't deserve the full tip. And I'm like, look, if a customer gave a tip and said divide it amongst all three of y'all, it's not your decision to determine if you're working harder than the other two. All right. If a customer gave you $100 and said divide it evenly, then that's $33 a piece. You don't make a decision that, well, you deserve most of the tip. Right. So just shit like that, you know what I'm saying? The guys worked hard, but it would be little shit like that because you got to understand, you're not like now you get migrants, right? If I was still in the business right now, I would have to get migrants. Y'all heard me talking to that guy the other day, and y'all heard what he was saying. He can't even find work. He dealing with migrants. He paying them $40 under the table a day, and they happy. All right. So back then, I was either getting felons or I was getting illegals. I was getting Mexicans, undocumented, illegal Mexicans. Right. I chose not to go the undocumented route. I chose to go the felon route. Right. And with going that route, there's going to be internal issues. It was just always internal issues. It never really had anything to do with the productivity of the work. It was just internal issues. You got 3 men on a truck. That's a lot of testosterone. And then they're doing labor intensive work. You get frustrated. You be on some of the moving jobs, it's 90 degrees outside, you get frustrated. I've had guys that grew up together get into it. I remember a guy was carrying a couch. He was carrying it backwards and doing a tight gangway, and he bumped into the meter, the gas meter, and he knocked the meter off. It came out. It was an accident, and these guys is getting into it. The driver talking, cussing him out, and wouldn't let him back on the truck and told him to take the train back to the yard. So now he's calling and saying they won't let him back on the truck. And then the other guys call like, man, don't put me with this guy no more. I don't want to work. I'd rather work with just this person. We'll just finish the job without him, man. I told him to get on the train and go back to the yard. We don't even want to, just shit like that. So, and you know, after a period of time, I already got it. So I would have to just come in and mediate. It's a very labor intensive job. I've had issues with people on jobs. Some people just don't have patience. They get frustrated. Some customers will make you frustrated. Some customers are how you carry something into one room that might have been difficult to get it in that room, and it might have been downstairs or upstairs, and then they say, oh, we'll take it out and take it all the way back downstairs. So now this person is frustrated, and you telling them to, you know, watch your step, and they getting mad at you, or you getting mad at them, and that turns into, it's just the nature of the business. So everybody's going to deal with their business the way they need to deal with their business, you know. So you got to know your business. But that's how I dealt with difficult employees. I would give them a week off or 2 weeks off or however long I felt was necessary. Like Rob told y'all, to think about the problem. So, and you know, if there was any discrepancies, I had Stack to go tweak with them. I wasn't finna be bothered with all that shit. So, besides the non-compete agreement, what other types of contracts did you use when hiring drivers? So I had a general contract for like all my so my Office Depot guys. I ended up doing a lease agreement with those guys, right? So they had like a general independent contract that stated that they were leasing a truck for X amount of dollars. They were responsible for everything. And 80% of the contract went to them. We would take 20%. And then they would get a general employee handbook that would state, all of the company's expectations, and if they damaged anything, they would have to pay for it. So it was just a general contract, something that you can get off Rocket Lawyer. And then we just added the verbiage in, which is pretty much was already there. We just changed it around a little bit to meet the needs of the business. J Mo said, "Game banging on the job is crazy." Wasn't necessarily on the job. It would mostly be on the truck. Sometimes at the yard. A lot of times, differences got handled at the yard. So the next morning, if it was a complaint that I got at night, I would pull the crew in, or I would have Stack handle it. Stack's way of handling things wasn't my way of handling things, but Stack's way of handling things was why he was there. Certain people had to be handled that way. But a lot of the issues weren't really handled on the job. They were handled mostly at the yard or on the truck. I had one instance where a guy called some guys up to the yard for another guy, and obviously we didn't let it go to that point, but that's something that could have been handled before it got that far. We just didn't know what was going on the truck. But that was one of the situations like I'm talking about. You got two guys on the truck, and then you got two younger guys that's on the truck, and then you got a guy who had been institutionalized for 10 years, and he bigger than these guys. He's swollen than these guys because he's been in a joint, so he think he could come out and bully these guys and not listen to what they saying, even though they're younger and they're not as big as you. They have more experience than you. I'm giving you an opportunity off the strength of somebody else. So regardless of your stripes, regardless of your stars, at the end of the day, this ain't nation business. This is work. So they got more experience than you. You got to listen to them. But, some of these guys, they just stuck in their way. He one of the OG type guys. This had to be like 2015, 2016. So he just didn't want to take heed to what they was telling him. Man, only Mark can tell me what to do. And they was complaining, and it just got to a point where you had these guys, and they got into an argument. It was 2 against 1. They was arguing on the truck. On the way back to the yard, you got 1 stone on the truck and 2 folks, 2 GDs. So yeah, eventually it's going to turn into this, that, and the third. I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. And it is what it is. So, but luckily, we nipped it in the bud. And obviously that guy, I had to terminate him because that wasn't the first complaint I got. That was just the first time it had went that far. And he was just one of those guys that he wasn't going to change. He was institutionalized to the point where, he needed years, coming straight out the joint, he needed time to get acclimated to society. He hadn't had enough time. He literally I gave him that opportunity off of referral from somebody, and he hadn't been out long enough to get acclimated to just the way things go in the world. And I'm pretty sure he's probably a better person now, but I didn't think keeping him, after that situation was the best, because I had other complaints on him. He just wasn't going to listen, and it just was going to turn out somebody was going to end up getting hurt. So I just got rid of him. Um, I'm in a bad spot. Truck is getting repo. I'm on a 10-day suspension, and because of some mistakes with my insurance company, I'm coming up as brand new again. Would you bother trying to float it or start new? Would you bother trying to float it? You talking about save the company? How many notes are you behind? Oh man, it sounds like you need a call in show, man. It sounds like you need a call in show, man. It sounds like you need a call in show. I need details, man, to really answer this question, man. I ain't gonna hold you accountable because it sounds like you in a bad spot. So but I need to know more details, man. I need to know like how much you behind. I need to know a lot of stuff. Isdy Wall said Mark had Suge and Diddy in this company. Man, I didn't have no Diddy. I had a Suge, and I had a Wolf. I had a Suge and a Marlo Mike. Hey, 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 Stack wasn't nothing to play with, man. He wasn't nothing to play with, bro. Well, hey, Anthony, you might have to hit that link, man. I don't know, man. You might have to hit that linkage. You might have to hit the linkage. You might have to hit the linkage. Hold on. How many children bring on? If I do, might leave some cats on. My bad. You said you got a local dropping hook contract for Yosemite that asked was I've been trusted to bring on if I do it by at least some cats on. Well, yeah, that'd probably be your best bet. I hope you didn't tell him you couldn't do it. If that's an opportunity, I would tell him yeah, and then go find the resources you need to make it happen. Yo,
Hey, what's up?
what's going on, man?
Not much driving, but I'm trying to find a spot that's a little better lit.
So, man,
So,
what's the situation, man?
I mean, it's a long story. It's a lot of personal stuff, so I don't want to get too into it. But
Okay.
basically, they told me I had until whatever day to pay for my insurance,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I paid them, they had already sent out cancellations, like cancellation notices.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's looking at me like I'm brand new now. I'm like 2 years into it, you know.
So it
So
lapsed.
between the personal stuff and that, it was kind of everything happened at once. And with the truck, I was kind of spinning a lot of plates. Totally dysfunctional. Like, obviously, not how you should be doing stuff, right? So I'm paying off one credit card and, like, using that to pay for fuel. By the time that would max out, I'd pay that off and then start using the next one. So it's like this, like, 3-card Monte kind of thing. One of the accounts I had that was on auto pay for the truck got screwed up, and it just turned into one of those things, especially with the payments being, like, super high. Like, I got in at the worst time. I never knew nothing about box trucks. I was doing Uber and DoorDash full time during the pandemic. Perfect timing. Made a lot of money. I was doing good, but I'm a maniac. I work 100 hours a week. That's not sustainable, especially because I got kids. I was finally able to see them again. That wasn't going to work, right? I hear some kid talking about his friend making money with box trucks. I'm working on this job. The kid knew my cousin. I got friendly with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept trying to get this guy to hire me so I could learn the business firsthand
Mm-hmm.
without spending all the money. I wanted to work on the truck. Guy never got back to me, so I said fuck it and just bought a truck.
Mm-hmm.
The hard way.
Where you at? New York, New Jersey, or something
Jersey.
like that?
Yeah, Jersey.
What part of Jersey?
Central Jersey, like Carteret. It's like kind of right by the city, Staten Island over there.
So you do over the road or you do local?
Yeah, I was doing everything on the East Coast. Everything from like Chicago down to like I tried to mess around with some Mississippi stuff a little bit because I was thinking of moving my business down there. Like
Hmm.
Jersey is the most expensive in the country for insurance. Mississippi's the cheapest. So I was going to try to move my business out of state, try to cut down on the expenses as much as I could, any way possible.
Hmm.
But since I'm in Jersey, I'm just going to go right to Pennsylvania and try to do it there. But I'm at the point where I don't even know if it's worth it to stick it out, or just say fuck it and cut my losses, and then maybe start up fresh
How
later
many
on down the
months?
road.
How many months are you behind on the truck?
They wouldn't take partial payments or nothing. Like I think I owed them like 15 grand because once it got screwed up, 1 or 2, 3 months. Next thing you know, you owe them 5 grand. If they're not calling you asking for the money, you just start paying all the other bills. You know what I mean? It got to the point where it
So
kept piling up.
what's your note? What's your note a month?
It was expensive. I bought it at the worst time. It was like 17% interest. It was like 1,700 a month.
All right, and
It
how
was
many
like 20.
and how many notes are you behind?
It's probably 7, 8 months maybe.
They're looking for that
I mean,
truck then already.
they were just gonna cancel the loan entirely. They were gonna repo it and everything. Like,
They're already looking for it, aren't they?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the other
So
thing. So like, I was still running. Like, I didn't want to be getting pulled over, loaded up, and then have them repo the truck on the spot, or have something crazy happen. I'm crossing state lines. I'm trying to skip way stations so I don't get pulled over and shit. You know what I mean? Like, shit was crazy.
all right, let me ask you this: how much capital do you have?
I'm bankrupt, bro. I was fucking homeless for like 2 months. I just got settled into my boy's place. I'm facing like bullshit with my, baby mom type shit. Like, she's always filing restraining orders on me and shit, just being fucking crazy. My daughter's about to turn 8. It's like she always does this shit when my daughter's like got. This is why I said it's like too much personal shit involved. Where it's like, any guys out there listening, man, if you don't have women in your life, keep them the fuck away if you can, man. That's how you'll keep your money. They're fucking crazy. I won't go on a tangent though.
All right, so let me ask you this, because I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to get personal either. With the 7, 8 months behind, you're not behind on your insurance. Your insurance did lapse though, right?
The insurance was always paid on time, but they used some third party like finance company, so they weren't very flexible on the terms. So even when they're like, I owed them like 5 grand, and then I'm ready to pay them the 5 grand, and they're like, oh well, it's almost next month. Well, now we need 8. I'm like,
Wait,
what the
wait, wait,
fuck?
wait.
Okay.
Hey, how much is your insurance per month?
Oh, my insurance was fucking ridiculous because they.
How much?
I
How
mean,
much?
the last policy that I have right
I,
now,
how much is it per month? Per month?
I'm trying to remember. I haven't even been running the truck for like a few weeks now. I
Well, I
just
mean,
got like settled in.
you should know how much your insurance is. You've been running for a couple years
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It was like, yeah, no, I'm trying to think because it was about 2,800, but
A
the one I
month?
had before that was, yeah, yeah, and that was like the
All
cheapest
right,
one I could find.
all
They
right, all
pieced
right.
it together from a bunch of different
So so you don't have
brokers.
any money. You don't have any money, right?
Yeah, I'm fucked. Yeah,
All right, man. I listen. I'm not the one to tell a person to fold up. I can't tell you that, but I'm gonna. I mean, here's the thing: if you don't have any money, you're that far behind. You don't have any resources to bail you out. Then you know what you got to do. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I can't tell anybody to fold up shop. You know,
yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
I know.
I can, but you know, what I'm saying? And I
Yeah, no.
have,
Well, it's
but if you don't have the resources, you're 8 months behind, bro. Seventeen hundred
pretty
dollars a
much.
month
Yeah,
is your $1,700 a month is your note, right?
correct.
That's a lot of money, bro. And then you're paying
Well, the
twenty
whole
eight
thing,
hundred dollars a month on insurance. What year truck do you got? What kind of truck do you got?
it's a 2016 Hino, and like I started finding your stuff. Like it was too late by the time I came up to your stuff because like every story you would tell, it's just like you're
Hmm.
checking boxes of all the shit that I did. You know what I mean? because I heard about it from some kid, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. Then I start doing a little research on YouTube, and it was right when everything was like blowing up. So I'm listening to all these people talking about this nonsense, 30 grand a month or whatever the fuck they're talking about, and it's like, oh shit, this is gonna be awesome. You know what I mean? My payment's only gonna be this much. The thing's only that much. Everybody's saying I'll make all this money. Like this will be cool. You know, I'll make more with pallets than with pizzas, right? Like so. I was all, and you know what? I'm pretty resourceful. Like, I might still be able to salvage it. Like I said, if I can move the business out of state, go to Pennsylvania, that'll cut down the insurance a ton. I mean, I got screwed over. Like I said, I came home after all this. I'm like, you know what? I'll go home. I'll lick my wounds. I'll go back on Uber and DoorDash and all that shit and just keep some money coming in, float for the 6 months, get back on the road. I mean, I had people starting to get ready to like jump in the trucks and get on the road, drive for me and shit. All of a sudden, I had all these people asking for work, and I'm ready to like get them on the road. The one bright spot is I am 2 years in. Like you had just said not too long ago about leasing versus owning. You know, I might be old enough as a company where I could get into a lease and maybe still get back on the road, you know? So
Listen, you gotta get responsible now. All right. Now it's time for you to get responsible. How old are you? Like 30 what?
I'll be 40 this summer.
All right. You gotta call the who financed the truck for you? Was it equipment
Toyota.
lending? Toyota, okay.
Toyota commercial.
All right. All right. So when is the last time you talked to them?
Probably like a month or so, maybe 6 weeks ago. The guy called me. I was I was on the road.
All right. I'm pretty sure they've been calling you since 6 months, but you got to stop avoiding
Well,
them. Have you
I've
used?
been,
Did you have any
got the police
deferments?
calling me too, so I've been ignoring my phone.
You got the who?
I'm saying the police have been calling me and shit. Like I'm kind of avoiding the police right now too. So
For what? What are the police calling you for? Is that personal or is that business?
yeah, personal stuff with the wife and the kids and shit.
So are you on the run or?
Well, I'm just not gonna deal with their shit because I've dealt with them before where they tell me, "Oh, just come in," and then they fucking arrest me.
Because here's the thing: if you on the run, then and you gotta do some time, you might as well. Hey, the truck ain't gonna make the money.
No. It would be like a slap on the wrist. It's not nothing like that.
All right, so here's the thing: you need to call them. Did you have any deferments? Does your contract have any deferments? Do you have any? Sometimes you'll get like 3 deferments, one a
I
year.
know. Yeah, I tried to go that route when I was only like a few months behind, and
well, they're not going to give it to you.
They're
They're not going to give it to you. Well, one, they're not going to give it to you. You're behind. You got to be caught up. They're not going to give you a deferment if you're 8 months behind. At this point, they feel like. But I'm actually, do you have any?
It was something I tried to bring up with them a few months ago, and they had some policy where they don't offer it until it's already so many months into the loan or something like that. It was one of those things where it's like, call us back in a few months, but I'm on the road so much that if I don't get stuff done that one day where I'm home, like I also had nobody helping me with none of this shit, and I'm not organized. I got into the worst business for a guy like me because like I'm the type of guy, I'll go pass a test. I'll have 97 average in a college level course in high school, but then every other class I'm failing and I don't pass. But the college level course, I ace it because you know what I mean. Like I don't do homework. I don't fucking do that shit. So I go in there, I'll ace the shit, no problem. If it's all about what we do in the class, but I'm not going home. I'm not bringing books home. They're staying in the locker. You know what I mean? I had a bad mentality as a kid.
So 1,700 and about 8 months behind. That's about $13,000, a little over 13.
Yeah, I mean it was probably closer to 10 months at this point. You know, it's gonna be. It was 15. I mean, it was 15 like a month.
So you about $17,000 behind in notes.
Yeah, and they won't take partial payments. They won't. Yeah, they just want everybody want all the money.
They're not going to take a partial payment at this. Well, first of all, they're not going to take a partial payment. They don't want a partial payment. If you make a partial payment, you're still 30 days behind for that month. So
it almost doesn't make sense.
Hold on, at $17,000, they're just like you can't afford it. So it's already out. After 90 days, they got somebody looking for it. So I mean, here's the thing, man. Based on what you told me, man, you're just too far behind, man. You should have came to me when you were 2 months behind, man. You
Yeah, like I
know,
said, they were. It was one of those things where it's like, oh, call us back in a couple months, and then you'll be eligible. But in
well,
that
here's the
time, so
thing:
much other shit happened.
you can call back in a couple months, but you still owe the money. That couple months, that now it's a third month, a fourth month. That
Well,
the
that's the
thing is
thing.
the thing is you're just sometimes you can get so far behind that it'll damn near be impossible. Unless you got somebody that can loan you 30 grand, 25 grand right now.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
And then, so
But
what all if you're 10 months behind and you've been working, where's all the money going that you've been accumulating from working?
it's well, like I started off in the worst possible scenario because I bought an overpriced truck at high
I get
interest
that.
rates,
I
no
get that.
no knowledge of what I'm doing. I was
I get
paying
that.
an exorbitant amount of money for rent during my first year because I was fighting with the courts for custody and shit like that. I mean, I literally had like if you want to get into the personal shit, I mean, I didn't see my daughter for 2 years. I met her a week before she turned two.
I don't
Like
want to
she
get
was
into
crazy.
the
You know what I
I
mean?
don't want to get into the personal stuff because the personal stuff I feel you, but it really don't have nothing to do with the business. And to you, it may have.
Well,
When hold on. What I'm trying to get into is
it's the
where's
timeline. That's it. It's
where,
just the
where's
timeline.
the where the for the past 10 months, where's the money that you say you've been running? So where's the money? Where's the money going to? Because it's not going to the truck.
Well, I had all this money just debt accruing over time. You know what I mean? And as I'm slowly starting to chip away at it, from finally getting like more into the, I was doing OTR also, by the way. So you know, I was
So once
not.
again, where was the money going? If you're running, where's the money going? You still haven't answered the question. It's going
Just
somewhere. It's not going
bills,
to the truck. So
bills.
where's it going?
I mean,
Okay.
my insurance was huge.
Okay.
Expenses on the road.
Okay.
Um,
So here- so
I
so
got
so
shut down. I kept getting shut down too for like
all right.
inspection
All
shit.
right. Your insurance is 1,700, but you've been running 10 months. So
28.
you made 28. Your insurance is $2,800 a month.
Yeah, insurance is 28. The truck payment 17. So that alone is 45 right there. And then when I had the apartment, dude, my rent was 2,800. I was spending 10 grand a month without even like doing anything.
So you were
You know
robbing
what
the
I mean?
business. Why were you? Why did you have an apartment if you
I had to
driving over
because
there?
I wasn't able to see my kids. I was fighting in the courts for custody and shit. All my money was from Uber. Going back to what I said earlier, all my money's from Uber and DoorDash. So I'm cashing out every time. It's like an extra couple $100. I don't have like a
I
pay stub. Everybody's giving me
I
shit about money.
I
So
I,
it was the only apartment that would take me. So I had to do what I had to do at the time to try to see my kids while I was also, you know, signing myself up for all this debt with the truck business. You know what I mean? So
well, I don't know. I can't
I just
really
jump into shit. You know what I mean?
yeah, I can't really advise you on the kid baby mama thing. I don't know, but here's what I'm gonna tell you. Somewhere along the line, you prioritize things wrong. If you're telling me one thing that you're running over the road for 10 months, and then in the next sentence you're telling me you haven't paid your note in 10 months, the priorities were mixed up somewhere. And it's just like I said the other day. Like when you're running a business, everybody's gonna have personal stuff going on. Life is about choice and decisions, and I'm not gonna beat you up. It sounds like you got something going on with your baby mama, and you want to see your kids and things of that nature. But if you were in a custody battle at that particular time, maybe start a business at that time probably wasn't the best thing for you. And also it seems like you made a lot of bad decisions at the beginning. $2,800 for insurance is kind of high. Your note really ain't that bad, but your insurance is extremely high, and the money that was coming in, obviously something needed to get neglected, but you failed to realize that the priority, the thing that was going to keep you running, was the truck. So that should have been the first thing you paid, and then something else should have been
Well,
neglected.
that's why I paid the insurance because if if I didn't stay on top of that every single month, that gets fucked up. I can't operate at all. So that's why I
That
was kind of putting the truck on the back burner, hoping I could just play catch up. But I kept getting shut down for inspection stuff. Like I got shut down for 10 days right around Thanksgiving. That kind of bled into the holidays. In the last 10 months, I tried to move back in with her, get out of the apartment, save some money. But she's just dysfunctional. You know what I mean? I made the
well,
mistake of moving back in to
well,
her and
well,
getting involved with that
well.
situation
Here,
again.
here. This is see. I don't like to. You know, here's the thing: if you're already in this situation with this individual, why go back? It's not gonna go anywhere. Why don't you move back in with your?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I made the mistake of being domino.
Are your parents alive? Are they still living? Your
Nah,
parents?
my mother, nah, my father's alive, but he don't want to be involved because it's just
No, I'm not. Not doesn't want to be involved. Can you move back in with him? That's what I'm saying.
oh no, the living situation ain't an issue. I'm good now. I'm square. I got a place now. I'm good. But
The one you're
I
paying
mean, for
2,800.
2 months I was
The one you're paying 2,800 for.
no, that was back like a year ago.
Oh,
Now all the kid stuff was cleared up, but then in September when my lease ended, I was dumb enough to move back in with her. You know, she tried to play the whole like, oh, let's be a family bullshit, and I just want to see my kids because like I'm never able to see them. She's been doing this shit since day one. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to be able to see them the little bit of time I was home, and because of that, you know, I made dumb decisions just to be able to have them around, and it's cost me the fucking business because right out the gate there was bullshit involved, led to being disorganized, led to not following up with the state trooper about the inspection, led to a 10-day suspension, led to being behind on more bills. So it's like as I'm slowly making progress, I mean, I had my numbers down to a fucking science. Like I had my daily fixed costs, I had my operating costs. I could be negotiating a rate on the phone with a guy, and I'll know right then and there. I could tell you down to the dollar how much money I was going to make that day. So I was like on a day to day, week to week basis over the last few months, I was getting to the point where I had it down pat. It's just I was so far behind from being in, you know, those things just keep piling up over time, and then one day everybody calls at once. Hey, we want all of it. I was done. I was fucked.
man, I don't know, man. I hate to say it, man. It's not looking good, man. You might just want to dissolve the company, man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because otherwise, I'm gonna have to keep paying insurance to float it, and just hope I get back to that 6 month mark. Like I had, you know, I had people calling me. They
Here's the
still work
thing,
with me.
man. You're almost 20 grand behind on a truck, bro. You're so far behind. You're behind another truck. 20 grand to get you another truck.
You want to know how much I paid for it?
How much?
It was 2016 with 166,000 miles on it when I bought it, and I paid like 70 grand.
Would you buy it like 22?
Yeah. Like I said, it was the worst time, and they had that
So
thing sitting
so
on the lot. They were trying to get it for like 85 or some shit,
what's your
like
what's
a
your
year.
what's your interest rate for it?
17%. It was way too much.
So you're gonna pay
I
damn
put
near
like
100 grand.
15
You're gonna
down.
pay damn near 100 grand for this truck.
Probably, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they want to repo it, like, it's probably better off. I'll probably go buy a new truck with less miles for than what I owe. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, somebody mentioned bankruptcy. I don't know if that's even
Hell
worth it
no,
for this little bit of
no.
money, but
You don't owe no money. I mean, what you owe on the truck, that's not enough to go bankrupt. You go bankrupt for that little money, you crazy.
yeah, exactly. But I mean,
You know.
everything I started listening to your stuff after the like, I was already in too deep. But it's just funny, man. That's why I'm always in the comments. I'm just like telling people like, please just listen to him. Like, like this is exactly what happened to me. Is like all the stuff that you pinpoint and highlight, you know. And yeah, the OTR thing is tough, man. Like the one night you had the kid from Connecticut, and it's just all these things that you don't consider. Well, what about the hotels? You know, like I came with that Uber mentality of like 24/7. So I'm thinking like, oh man, I'm on the road. I'm in Jersey, right? I see trucks on the road all the time. I'm like, this is gonna be great. I get a truck, man. I'll be cooking. and all of a sudden it's fucking 2 o'clock, and these guys don't want to fucking work anymore. Oh, we got to get there by 3 o'clock. The fuck you mean 3 o'clock? You're working half days? You know what I mean? Like, you didn't even book this shit with me until fucking lunchtime. By the time you actually booked
No,
and gave me time to,
uh,
so they make a 6 hour job take 2 days. You don't think about that when you're getting into it. You're used to working 18 hours a day round the clock. You think you're just gonna be printing money. It's like, no, these guys, you get there at 3:15, and now you got to wait till tomorrow to drop it off. You know what I mean? I wasn't aware it was going to be like that. I'm
yeah,
used to working
yeah,
7 days a week. You take
yeah,
away the
yeah,
weekends, that's 40% of my week.
yeah. You pay too much to get into this business, and you're too far behind, man. I really hate to tell you this, but I mean, you might want to just dissolve, do a
Yeah,
voluntary. 20
because
grand, 20 grand is a lot, man. And I know if you're just behind that far behind on the truck, you're behind on other bills too for this business.
just a couple credit cards, nothing,
How
nothing else
much
really.
you in debt for credit, business credit cards?
I don't have any business credit cards. That's all personal credit cards right now. But
So what are you behind on your credit cards? I mean, you've been using them for the business
uh,
clearly.
yeah, I mean, I've been rotating everything. So like personal, business account. I mean,
How much are
I
you
get
in debt?
creative.
How much are you in debt? How much are you in debt? Because you're not giving me straight answers, man. How much are you in debt?
For credit, right now the credit cards are all paid off, but that's what I'm going to be living off of until I get employment
Wait,
again. So
I thought you just said that you were behind. So how much debt are you in besides this truck? What else are
uh,
you in debt in?
if I added everything up, maybe 50 grand tops. I mean, I doubt it's even that much.
What else do you owe? What else are you in debt in? What else? Who
Not,
else do you
nothing.
owe?
I mean, I have like my biggest credit card's like 5 grand. I don't even have like high end credit cards. So
So how are you 50 grand in debt if you
no,
some
I don't
people
know. I'm trying to guess. Like if I had to add everything up, I don't.
you can't guess. You know you're in debt. It's Here's what the thing. You know what the answer is, but you're in denial. The easy
Well, I just haven't added up the
the
exact number. I don't know because I'm
this
currently going in debt every day. I'm using my
okay,
credit cards right now until I get a job.
so besides the truck, what else are you deeply in debt with?
Like behind.
Yes.
One business account, Chase, because it let me overdraft, so I've been using that
How much
to
are you
pay stuff
overdrafted?
off. Like 6 or 7 grand, maybe.
They let you overdraft that much?
Yeah, yeah. If you put down based on whatever your deposit is with Chase, they'll let you. I've been using this is what I've been doing the whole time. They'll let me overdraft up to like 8 grand. I found this out, so I'll pay it off. I'll have like $2 in the account, and then I'll pay off like $7,000 worth of credit cards. And I've just been doing this back and forth and back and forth, and then I have like
But
60 days
each
to pay
day
the
they're
account off.
charging you $37 or $40 though. So that's adding
Nah,
up too. Yeah.
nah.
They charge you a what is it, the NFT fee? FT,
I
whatever it
haven't
is,
had
they
any.
charge you an overdraft fee. After 24 hours,
Maybe,
you got to pay an overdraft fee. You probably just not looking at
not
it.
daily,
You got
not daily.
24 hour. Is it a business account or is it a personal account?
Business.
I thought you didn't have. So you
That's
got a
why.
business account. So they're charging you. They treat a business
Nah,
account worse than a
you
personal
don't.
account.
Nah,
Yeah, they
nah,
do.
nah. I'm not on my account. I haven't.
Do
It's
you
been
look at
staying.
do you look at your account? Do you look at your statements daily, and you don't see
I
any
used to,
37
but
or well, you look at them. You're gonna see an overdraft fee.
yeah,
It's
but
not gonna pop up
it's
every.
stagnant. It's not like every
But,
day it's like increasing.
yeah, I mean they're not gonna charge, but they might at the end of the week, if it's $37 a day, they'll hit you with that one NSF fee for the week. It's there. Go look. This is how they make
Well,
money. This is how they make money. If they're letting you overdraft, you got
yeah,
24
but I'm
hours.
in
If you,
survival. I'm in survival mode. I had nothing, so I just overdrafted to pay off my cards, so I had something to live off of for the
I
next
hear
few
what
weeks.
I hear what you're saying, but if you don't pay that bank account off, then you're not gonna be able to get a checking account nowhere. You
I'll
with
pay it off.
Chase? You with Chase?
Yeah, yeah. My philosophy is if they can fund Epstein, they can fund me.
Oh my God. Man, get a truck back, man. Just dissolve the company, man.
The one thing I was trying to look into was if you get a smaller vehicle like a pickup truck, the insurance drops. So instead of it being a minimum of like 750, I think it's only a minimum of like 300,000. You know anything about that? Are you familiar with that? I was thinking if I got
Get
like
get
an
a
F
pickup
three
truck
fifty, maybe I could get cheaper insurance or something
to
just to
do
float it.
what?
Just to try to, I mean, I have guys that I can get on the road that drive like campers and shit. They have connections. They can get some contracts with that type of stuff just
You
to get
could
something going.
listen. You could have got cheaper insurance for the truck you got.
That was the best I could do. They kicked me off of Progressive because of other, issues with them, like way back, like a year ago.
Check this out.
And
You got to get your life in order, bro. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. You gotta
oh
get
yeah,
your
of
shit
course.
together. Yeah, it's some shit, personal shit. Listen, if your personal shit together, you ain't gonna never be good in business. Your
Oh no,
personal
no.
shit, yeah, your
If
personal
I
shit
stayed in the
fucking you up.
apartment, even with the high rent, if I stayed in that apartment, I would have been fine because
No, no, I'm not just talking
all,
about that. I'm talking
but I
about
would have cleaned all these
everything.
problems up. In the last
Listen,
10
listen,
months, I would have
listen.
cleaned all these problems up in the
I,
business.
I hear you, man, but you got too much going on. You talking about you got the police looking for you. This is what I'm telling you. You got shit going on in your personal life that's affecting your business. You're never gonna be able to take care of business with a
100%.
clear mind when you got shit haunting you. You scared to go to the
Yeah,
weigh station because you don't want to get pulled in because you don't know if you got a warrant and all this other shit you're talking about. Like you got shit that you need to handle in your personal life so that you can come into business with a clear mind. There's no way you're gonna be able to operate a business effectively without a clear mind. You competing against people with a clear mind. It's a guy out there that don't got none of the shit that you got to deal with. No kids, no fucking baby mama, no all that
exactly.
shit that you dealing with. I'm not dealing with none of that shit. I wouldn't deal with none of that shit. I don't put nothing before the bag. You know what I'm saying? You're putting a lot of shit before the bag since you did all that shit. You got yourself into this situation. You got to handle a lot of your personal issues because the people that you compete against, a lot of them may not have those personal issues. So they don't got shit to think about but the bag. You can't think about the
Exactly.
bag because you're worried about pulling in a way station and possibly getting arrested because you might have a warrant and all this shit because you dodging this and you dodging that. Bro, you got to take care of your personal business, bro. You gotta take care of your
Absolutely.
personal business, man. You know what I'm saying? I would, man. I don't even want to tell you this, but you just too far behind, bro. I think certain time when you get just too far behind, it's too far behind to catch up. 20 grand, you owe way over $20,000 in debt. Like so I think right now you just need to dissolve the company. Maybe come back later on, but after you dissolve the company, you need to probably go back to what you were doing prior to make ends meet day to day. And while you doing that, you need to get your personal life in order.
Yeah,
You got to
definitely.
get your personal.
You
You need to get your personal shit in order.
you had a good quote couple weeks back. I really stuck out with me, and it was like you either have a hustle or a business, and that's what I had. It was just a hustle. I'm running around. I wasn't running it like a business. I was making a quick buck to go pay off whatever bill, whatever the next bill that's about to be overdue. I paid that.
Yeah,
I'd go
yeah,
hustle, make another couple bucks. Use that to,
yeah,
like you said, robbing Peter to
yeah.
pay Paul.
But
You know?
but see, the longer you continue to go on, the deeper in debt you're gonna get, which the longer it's gonna take you to get out of it because that repo now is gonna go in your business and you have to guarantee it, so that's gonna hit your personal account. Now, what they sell the truck for and the difference and all that shit, however that shit goes, I don't know, but you know, you don't want
Yeah, I
to
got to figure out.
prolong. You don't ain't nothing to figure out. Call them and tell them come get the truck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
That
are they
that's
gonna keep?
that.
Are they gonna keep charging me payments if I don't bring the truck back?
No,
Is it gonna go from 10 months
yes,
to 11 months?
yes. You need to
Yeah,
give them the truck back so they can sell it. Right. Once they sell it, whatever the difference is, then that's what you're gonna owe. Right, and then they're gonna stick it on your business credit, and then it's gonna hit your personal credit. All right. You know, uh, so you need to cease that immediately, bro. You need to cease that immediately because you just racking up late fees and it's just not. Just get it out the way. Like running from the shit ain't gonna help the situation, bro. You know.
Yeah, no, I mean that's
Uh,
why I came
uh,
back home. Like I was stranded down in Florida. Nobody would book me nothing, and because even if I get a call from brokers that know me, like still, like I'll make a bunch of money. I'll end up down south, and then what? Now I'm stuck in a hotel all day trying to book an appointment, and everyone's telling me, "Oh, you're brand new. You're brand new."
how you brand? Well, how you brand new? You've been running for 2 years,
Because the insurance lapsed. That's why. Because now everybody's looking at me like I'm brand new, so I can't even
bro.
drive and make money.
Bro, where's the truck at? Where's the truck at?
It's parked in Jersey.
Okay, is it clean out? Did you clean it out?
Pretty much. I mean, I got
Okay,
a couple more things in there.
listen. Tomorrow, go clean it out, and then call
Just get rid of
Toyota and
it.
tell them to come get it. Say the key is in the dashboard. Y'all better come get this truck before somebody else get it. Clean the truck out tomorrow and tell them to come get it. Like you gotta cut your losses. Like the longer you hold on to it, the deeper in debt you're gonna get, and the more you're gonna try to figure. Like man, you over $20,000 in debt.
Uh,
You in debt what another person need to get started. So you gotta catch up. Like, nah, bro, you gotta start over. So, bro, but you need to get your personal. You got personal shit that you dealing with, bro, and you need to get that shit in order, bro. It ain't gonna never
yeah, I
work.
mean, I got into it thinking, like I said, I'd be just running all the time. It wasn't like that. And
Mm,
it
mm.
just got to the point where you start adding up the numbers. And, in the beginning, it's like, all right, of course, you're going to have a little, like, learning curve. But eventually, you start seeing, like, the rates and really finding out the reality of it all.
That
And
that
it's
ain't
like,
got nothing. That ain't got
I'm
nothing to
dealing
do
with
with it.
all of this.
The
No, but
rates and
I'm
shit.
just saying, like, I was
Nah,
making
we're
two
not.
grand a week.
We're not
If
gonna
I'm
have a
making two
pity
grand a
party.
week,
Two
I'm
grand a
just
week
saying, I'm
ain't
making
shit.
2 grand a week doing Uber. And it's like I'm barely making 2 grand with the truck, but I got all the headaches. I mean, it's like, why
Well,
did I even
well,
bother with all the headaches?
I say that all the time. People come up here every call in show, and I said, man, it's people that work company jobs that are gonna make more than you. You're better off staying at your job. You're gonna make the girl who was up here about a month
Hell
ago.
yeah,
I said you're gonna make more money staying at your job than you're gonna make in a
100%.
box truck gross. So I say this all the
And
time,
you'll
but
be home.
but but
And you'll be
but
home.
but 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 people, if you start the way you come in, I say it all the time. The way you come in is the way you're gonna finish. Everybody want to go
Yeah.
buy these expensive trucks, and I say I know the margins, but y'all continue to listen to these retard content creators that don't know what the f they talking about, and we're not gonna live in the past. You did what you did. You said you listened to some kid and he sent you a dream. But that's neither here nor there. Right now, we living in the present. The present is, and I'm being nice about this because I'm tired, it's late. Now I gotta go to bed sad, man. Now I gotta go to
Nah,
bed.
nah,
See,
nah. Don't be
nah,
sad.
it's
Don't
too
be
late.
sad.
It's too late. It's too late
I
now.
always
I
win.
always
I
say,
don't care. I don't care, bro. I
no, no,
always
no.
win. I get myself in hairy situations, but I always come out
It's
on
not.
top.
It's not about winning. Right now, you're in a bad situation. You'll come from under it eventually, but you gotta, in order to start a new chapter, you got to come from under this. You holding on to this. You got to let this go. This is a wrap. This is a wrap, man. You get to call them, tell them come get the truck. You paying $2,800 a month for insurance. You bought a truck that's 2-3 times worth what it really is worth. I'm looking
Oh
at
yeah, I mean,
2016
it's
Hinos
crazy.
right now for 30 grand. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
More than I
you
have.
need
That's
to
what I'm saying. I
you
can just give
you
it
need.
back and buy a new truck
You,
cheaper.
I wouldn't even buy a new truck. I think you need
No,
to
I don't mean
chill
new.
out.
Just
Just you need to go back
basically, I'm
to
just saying you could replace it.
just chill out. You need to chill out. This is what you need to do. You need to figure things out with all those personal issues you got. You need to do something that is not costing you money. You need to go back to Uber or DoorDash or whatever it was you were doing, and you need to call the police and see what they want with you. You need to call Toyota, tell them come get the truck. You need to call Progressive or whoever and tell them to stop charging you insurance because you dissolved the company. You need to pause your MC. You need to cut everything off as far as that business. Deal with the phone calls. The phone calls are gonna come. Don't file for bankruptcy. All right, you're not in the point where you got to file for bankruptcy. You owe what 50 grand? That's nothing.
Not
You're
even.
gonna you're gonna get a bunch of phone calls. You're gonna have to deal with that, and then you're gonna get some shit that's gonna hit your credit. But while that process is going on, Start going back to your gig stuff, your Uber Dash, your DoorDash, whatever you were doing, and focus on getting your life together. Because right now you kind of in shambles. You need to get to a point where you can make sound decisions. Right now you can't make sound decisions because you're running from too much shit, bro.
Nah,
So
I mean,
that's
I'm
what you
back
need
home
to
now.
do.
Like now, I'm in the position like you just said, where I actually came home to take care of it. But everything you were describing, it was exactly what was happening to me over the last few weeks. Is I was running around on the road trying to force the issue, and it got to the point where like you just gotta you know go home, lick your wounds, reassess everything. But can you still keep your MC though? Like if you cancel the insurance policy, that's it, right? Like you're
You
not
got a
gonna
broker?
you
Who
need the
you?
insurance policy to keep that active, right?
Well, you can put it on hold, man. You can put it on hold. But see, I don't know how that's gonna work with you, man. I ain't never had nobody in a situation like. Well, have I? You could probably put a hold on it, man. If I was you, I would just cut. If you ever come back in, I would just come back in fresh, bro. I mean, shit, it don't matter. You finna shit, man. You finna have to start over anyway. I mean, so really, who cares? To
Exactly.
be honest with you, I
That's
would just
why
let
this
it go. I
I'm
would let
getting
it
this
go,
guy
bro.
calling me saying I'll give you 10 grand for your MC. I'm like, fucking, let's go.
Man, I think that's a scam, bro. I think that's a scam.
I scanned a scammer one time. They were trying to tell me like, oh, we'll send you a check for 3,500. You wrapped your car up like with this Monster Energy shit. Just send us all this money back on the cards. I cashed the check against their own account, so they gave me the money, and then I just never gave them the cards. They made like 3,500. That was like years ago. Some Craigslist bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, man. So yeah, man, you man, yeah, man. I guess that's it for you, man. You just got to dissolve the company, man. That's the only advice I can give you. I just think you're too far behind. I think you're too far behind to be saved at this point. Unfortunately, 20 grand
Yeah.
is a lot, more than 20 grand. You said 8,000 in overdraft fees. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You probably want to just yeah dissolve the
Stop,
company.
stop making a bigger mess, basically.
Just dissolve the company, man. Like tomorrow, man. Get on top of it, man.
Yeah.
So that's the only advice I can give you, man. It's nothing like I can really offer you at this point. Right
Yeah, I've
now,
been
what
trying
you
to play every angle I can, but
right now, what you need is about 30 grand, and unless you know somebody who's going to loan you 30 grand, um, with the promise to pay, and based on what you told me, you just gonna probably end right back up in the situation that you in now.
yeah, I
I
mean,
think
even if I,
I don't know how hard you were working the truck. I don't know what you were grossing because you really didn't get into that. But
when I
based on
was
your
able to
over,
operate, I was decent, but
what's
it's
decent?
hard
What were
when
you
you're,
grossing? What were you grossing?
I mean, the best I could possibly do in a week, the way things were going, was probably like 4 or 5 grand total,
That's de-
and but
that's
that's just to
decent,
make 2 grand,
but right, but see, your overhead is really really high,
Yeah,
really really high. You know what I'm saying?
especially
So
because I'm in the Northeast, so like, you're fucking driving up to Buffalo, New York, or something. You got to get a hotel when it's freezing ass cold out. Like, you get out of the truck for 2 seconds, turn it off to fill up, and the thing's already ice cold. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna sleep in the truck. So like,
man,
I mean, I was operating illegally too. I was driving home.
who sold you this dream? I'm just curious. You said you was watching a
My
content
goal
creator.
when I was doing Uber. The whole reason I got into this is just very simple. It was my goal every day when I was doing Uber was 300 a day, just so I could make 100 grand.
Mm,
And this kid
that,
said his buddy was doing like 600 a day with the trucks doing Amazon. All I heard was double the number. That's it. I said, oh, that's it. I'm going to double my income. And the kid wouldn't hire me. He wouldn't get back to me on the phone. I was trying to jump in the truck and learn as an employee. You know what I mean? So I didn't have all this money wasted. I could learn the business from the inside, see what it was really like. Guy never got back to me. I just said fuck it and got a truck.
mm.
If I knew I was going to wait 6 months to, and that's the other thing, right? All these other content creators, like if I had found you before any of this shit, like this is why I'm always commenting. These people need to listen. This guy's going to save you so much fucking money, so much fucking headaches. Just listen, because everything he's fucking saying is all the fucking shit that happened to me. He's not just speaking out his ass.
Yeah, man. Oh God. Yeah, man. Just yeah, call him tomorrow, talk to him, man. But I already know what they're gonna say, man. So you might as well just clean the truck out and just deal with it, man. And I would go back to, you said you were Ubering, go back to doing that, and
Oh no, I
maybe
came home. They kicked me off Uber. I didn't even have a plan B. I thought I'd come home, lick my wounds, just hustle, make some money, float it until I'm like back
why'd
in
they
good.
kick you off?
I don't even know. Some random ticket must have popped up. I did a ride the one night because I got home and I'm like, okay, time to face, time to face the Reaper type of shit. I'm gonna deal with
Mm.
all this, figure it all out, get it all sorted out, take a step back and clean up the mess. I do an Uber ride, deliver it. Girl gives me a nice big tip. I'm like, all right, sweet. Maybe this ain't gonna be so bad. I go to do a ride the next day. I log in, background check. And now I can't ride. So like even
Background
my
check?
backup plan,
What's on your background?
probably just a ticket or something, but I don't even know what it was or where it was from.
Wait,
But
background check has nothing to do with a ticket. A ticket is a
Uber is like
ticket.
that. Uber's like that. Like they'll just do random background checks out of the blue. You could be 5-star driver, driving for years, nothing but good reviews. They don't give a fuck. If something pops up when they do a background check, that's it. There's no one you could
So
talk to.
so what are you doing now to make money?
Nothing. I'm living in a house rent free, and I'm just getting. And the kid didn't even have internet. You know what I mean?
Who
Like I had
you
to fucking order internet and shit.
who are you living with? Who are you living with?
A buddy, a guy I know, had a spare room. He
So
had like
what
a
are you
three
doing? So
bedroom
so
house.
you're not doing anything right now to make money?
I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going
And
on.
and, and, and and you
There's so
don't
much shit.
and you don't have money to run the truck either.
I have a couple grand right now that I have to live off of for the time being, and I just got to figure out what I'm going to do for employment. It's just a matter of what I choose to do. It's not, money's not an issue for me. Like I'll find money, but I just got to decide what I'm going to do, what course I'm going to take. That's really the main thing. You know, I could get a job tomorrow. That ain't a problem, but I got to figure out what I want to do and what's the best
Yeah,
way to
yeah. You need to figure something out
handle
because you
everything.
gotta you gotta get some money coming in. But yeah, you need to probably dissolve that. Like I don't. That's gonna be tough. Like I think you're too far behind, man, to come back. That's a lot of money, man.
Well,
What kind of
especially when
what
you're
kind of
not able to
what kind of car
operate.
what kind of vehicle do you have? Personal vehicle do you have?
Camry hybrid. So I mean, that's like one extreme to the other. I went from like gas never being an issue to 300 just to fill up the tank. It was crazy,
Well, you need to
And
kind.
then
You need to.
the
You,
hotels too. They're holding $100 every night. On top of the money for the. It's just. I mean, if I had like an extra 10 grand in my bank during the time that all this shit was going on, I probably could have floated everything, no problem, because the money would have been there to circulate. But because that little bit extra wasn't there, I was always pulling some little scam of like putting that on this card, using this card to pay the other one. Once that clears, now I'll have this card, I'll pay that bill. You know what I mean? Just that little bit extra would have had everything squared away. But because I had to get creative and get every little bit I could squeeze out of this thing before I took care of that thing, you know, it's just it was dysfunctional. I mean, it worked for the time being, and but even if I was still operating, it would have been a mess. I still would have had to clean up a lot of shit before I could really like grow and scale. Because you know what I mean? It's all about like systems. Like you need to get it to the point where, like McDonald's, you could hire a fucking teenager to work at McDonald's. That's why they're successful because it's that simple. Like you got to get your business to the point where you just throw guys in the truck and that's it. You know what I mean? Then you have a system, you have a way of operating it. But if you're not organized, I would, even if I was still operating, it would have been a long road before I was that, organized where I had other guys taken care of. Because it's like you said, you don't get paid from the supplier. You think your guys would care who got paid or not? They need to get paid. They're not going to stick around if they ain't getting paid. So, even if I had guys getting on the road and going in the trucks, how long until something like that happens where I'm barely getting by the skin of my teeth and all of a sudden one
It,
little it's like a house of cards.
you always operated. You were the owner operator. You didn't
Driver.
never have a driver, did you? Right?
Never. No. If I did, I would have probably had some things a little more cleaned up. But it was
Yeah,
doing
man.
everything. I got rid of my dispatchers because they were charging 7%. I'd be on the phone with them, and then I'd get off the phone. I'd book my own ride. It got to the point where I was out booking them, so I got rid of them. That cut a little bit of costs, but it's just that was too far behind. So it's like, you gave the debt a 6 month head start, and then you keep giving it like an extra couple months here, a couple months there. I mean, I kept getting put out of service for all this like stupid like inspection stuff. It was just like one setback after another.
Mhm.
And it just got to the point where I just didn't have enough time. It wasn't a money issue; it was really a time issue. You know what I mean? If you gave me an extra 6 months to just take care of that stuff, it would have been fine. But everybody just started asking for the money all at once.
Well, that's like what I always talk about when it comes to running a business, man. It's like those margins is. I always tell people,
Yeah.
man, that they're small, man. So the
I
way you
didn't know it
come
was
in
that
is the way.
small until you started saying every time 10%, 10%. I'm like, what?
I mean, the reason I made money is because I operated with volume. I mean, I did a live stream Sunday. You guys saw my trucks. My trucks are those trucks are '05s. I bought them in 13. So they were 8 years old when I bought them, and I paid cash for them. And I charged that one truck I started. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. That truck can go out and make money. Like, you don't have to have a brand spanking new truck.
Well,
You know what
no,
I'm
if I say
saying?
new, I don't mean new.
No, I'm
I'm
not
just
talking to
saying,
you. I'm just speaking in
yeah,
general based off your
of course.
situation. You know what I'm saying? So the way you come in is the way you're gonna finish. You came in kind of bogus, man. So you finishing bogus, like. But
Yeah.
somewhere along the line, though, even though you came in uh bogus, somewhere along the line things just got out of hand. Like, even with your costs, I think your insurance is something you're not telling me about. That insurance, I know you said something about somebody dropped you, something happened while you paying
Progressive.
2800. You weren't paying
But
2800 initially, were you?
26, it was basically the same ballpark, yeah. My progressive
so
was expensive, and then
so
something happened with them,
you
and
don't
then
have a
because of
broker, do
that,
you? Did you ever have a
yeah, yeah,
broker? Yeah,
yeah.
something with your broker, bro. Something ain't right there. Something ain't right. Something ain't right.
I
Something
think
ain't
it's
right. Something ain't right, man. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. I
that's
don't know
the
what it
that's the
is,
rates
but
around
some
here. I think it's because you owe money
man,
on the truck too, increases the rate, because it's a
yeah,
loan,
but
the loan on the vehicle.
a 2016 3 grand.
Twenty
I
six
know
hundred,
people.
and then when I
No,
and then when I had to
mm-mm.
get a different policy, the cheapest one I could find was 28, and that's pieced
What's
together from different
hold on?
brokers.
What you got points on your MVR? You got points on your MVR,
I
don't you?
shouldn't.
Something's going
No,
no, ain't no shouldn't. Some you're not telling me about that insurance. I'm not gonna get into it because it's
there
late.
was
But
there.
I know there's something going on with your it's something with your MVR. 3 grand for
It's
2016?
possible. It's
No.
possible that I had something on there that was about to come off, but they started the policy before it came off.
It ain't something. You got a few things on there.
I'm telling you, it's not. I live in New Jersey.
I
I live in New
yeah,
Jersey.
that's fine. That's fine. I know other people that live in New Jersey. They got newer trucks and they not paying that much and they younger than you.
Everybody was quoting me the same thing, and I don't really have anything on my.
Everybody
I
quoted
drive all the
everybody
time.
a lot of shit. I had a guy that got quoted damn near 1,800, and I sent him to my broker. He's paying 898. He went from 1,800 to 898, and guess what? With the same company. So he had Progressive paying 1,800. I sent it to my broker. He's still with Progressive. He's paying 898. If I'm a broker, it's my job to make more money off of you because now my residual income based on what you pay is greater. 4% of 2,800 is a lot more than 4% of 1,500. If I see that I can get you, then I'm gonna get you. If I can't get you, then I'll give you the fair value and I'll get the next guy. Eventually, I'm gonna get somebody. Eventually, I'm gonna get somebody. So I got guys that's paying a fair value, and I got guys that I'm getting. That's the way the game works. You know, so 2,800 for 2016, it's people that's driving semi trucks that's not paying that much. Kurt got a semi truck and a trailer, and he's not paying what you're paying. With Progressive. So me knowing the business, I'm telling you something ain't right. You know, if I didn't know the business, then I would just listen to what you're saying and just take it at face value. I can't take it at face value because I know it's something you're not telling me or something that you don't know. I'm not saying you're lying. It's just
Yeah,
something you're
yeah.
not telling me or something that you don't know. Something's going on where that shit ain't right.
All right.
You know,
I'll have to
so
look into it and see.
well, I
But
mean,
everybody was quoting me the same thing. I mean, that was the cheapest. That was the cheapest quote.
and just because everybody's quoting you the same thing, don't mean that they're not trying to
I
get
know.
you.
Yeah,
You know, if I'm telling you people paying less than that with semi trucks
same company
that
too.
are newer than that with the same company with the trailer attached to the insurance policy, and they're paying $200 less than what you're paying for a box truck. You can't tell me. And I know other people who are in box trucks that have 2019s, 2020s, 2022s that are paying less than that. And they're younger than you. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, but I mean that's water under the bridge now. It doesn't matter at this point because you're not gonna pay it no more anyway. But yeah, man, clean the truck out, bro. I don't even like saying that, man, but you too far behind, man. You're gonna have to, you know, uh uh, yeah, you're gonna have to start over. You know, it's fucked up, man. I'm sorry that you gotta go through that, but you gotta
Yeah, I
take it
mean,
as a learning lesson and just do better next time, man. And you know, as far as entering into the business, and then you know, if you ever going through shit in your personal life, man, then take care of that. Starting a business while you trying to take care of like domestic, you know, disputes and you know custody battles and shit like that. That's gonna affect you, you know, especially when you're a business owner. There's no like you gotta be focused. You gotta be laser sharp focused
oh yeah,
and you running a
you miss
truck, man.
something one thing by one day. Two
So you
years of
over the
business out the window.
right, so you over the road, so like you can't really be focusing on shit that's going on back home. You know, and that's something that you knew coming into it. So you know, I don't want to digress, man, but yeah, just something that I think you just probably need to nip in the bud sooner than later, man. You know, I appreciate you for sharing, though. Hopefully, you take heed to the advice and cut it off, man, so that it can stop
Yeah,
accruing.
if I had found your channel sooner, I probably would have avoided at least 80% of those problems.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, you said you're gonna get back in, so man, just keep watching and keep learning, and
I might be
that way you.
popping in a few months with some crazy story how I pulled it off. You never know.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. That's why you're going. Me telling you what to do, I already know you're not going to do it. So, however you handle it, just handle it. Like you're not going to turn the truck back in. You're going to stay on the lam. You're going to keep running from the people. I just pray and hope that they don't catch up with you when you're in the peculiar situation.
I got a kid that's even willing to drive the truck knowing the whole situation. He's like, I don't
Wow.
care. I'm like, I'll get you back home. But, I mean, you're just going to open yourself up to a lawsuit. If somebody gets pulled over while the truck's loaded, the truck gets repoed. You know what I mean? So, like, how much money am I going to – I barely make enough money to pay the guy, let alone cover my ass if I got a lawsuit having the truck towed while there's cargo in it. You know what I mean?
Well, you're crazy, and he's crazy for wanting to work for somebody that can't pay the bills. So with you telling him all the shit that you in, and he want to work for you, I wouldn't want him working for me, because that means he's up to something. He'll probably get rid of the truck for you. He's probably gonna steal the truck and the freight, and then you'll be in deeper shit.
Exactly.
But I don't know what you're gonna do. It don't sound like you're gonna get a truck back. So I just hope that
I mean, I have to, because I can't use it to make money. So I can't have it. I can't be paying a truck payment and insurance if I don't have a business to cover the cost of it.
Well, you just
If it's
said
not
that
operating.
you just said you may come back in a few months and you may got yourself out of it. So that
Oh
means
yeah,
you're
no,
thinking
I'm
of.
telling you, yeah, I got a little plan. If I can get, I have a VIN number for another truck. If I can get my address, I can move the business to Pennsylvania, transfer the EIN. I forget what it's called, but some states allow it. Pennsylvania allows it. If I can get my insurance payment cheap enough where I can float it the next few months, I'm probably already like 2-3 months into this little, you know, recalibrating, your brand new 6-month phase. If I can just get to the end of that 6 months and also in that time drop my expenses by moving it to Pennsylvania, get a new policy. Like my policy is about to be over at the end of the month, I think. So like I needed to get a new policy right now anyway, but now I got to make sure I can get it registered in another state to cut that cost. Get it with a cheap vehicle so it drops the policy minimums and all that shit. Get it to the bare minimum. If I could just float it for a few months, you know what I mean?
Well, what about the
Then I get to
17
the end of
grand?
that.
What about the 17 grand you behind plus the 8,000 your checking account is
I'll figure that out.
insufficient?
I always figure this shit out.
All right.
But
Good luck,
as far as the
man.
truck, like if I'm 2 years old as a company, right? If I'm 2 years old, I can lease a vehicle. If I might need to get a co-signer for credit or something. But if I can lease a truck and get on the road, might have a chance to salvage it.
Yeah, do what you gotta do, but this truck, man, you almost 20 grand. Now you talking about another few months, and that's gonna put you over 20 grand behind in debt on the truck, man.
But if I get rid of it right away,
listen.
I might be able to lease something.
Check this out. They're gonna skip chase that truck. Eventually, they're gonna hire them people. Whoever they got looking for, that's level one. When they get to the point where they want that truck, they're gonna get them skip tracers, and they're gonna come get that truck. Like that's a 2016. They'll find the truck, bro. Yeah. They got people. They got those skip tracing guys. Those guys, they just gonna spend more money to pay the right people, and they're gonna come get that truck. They're gonna find you. They're gonna hire a PI. The PI is gonna catch up with you. They're gonna follow you. They're gonna fly a guy out, and they're gonna come get that truck. As soon as you go to take a shit in the truck stop, you're gonna come back out and you're gonna be looking like, God damn, I parked the truck. I swear the truck was right here. That truck gonna be gone. It ain't gonna happen the way you think it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen with it parked wherever you tucking it away in New Jersey. It's gonna happen in a situation where you don't expect it to happen when you in the middle of nowhere with a load and you thought you was gonna run in somewhere real quick, and these people been following you for the last 100 miles, and they professional, and you probably didn't even tell. They probably got a car in front, a truck behind you, and they following behind the truck. You can't even see them, And as soon as you go in to take that shit, they already got the key and everything. They're gonna get right in there. It's gonna be so fast, that truck gonna be gone. You're gonna leave your phone in the truck. You're gonna leave your wallet in the truck because you thought you was running. Now you ain't got no phone or no wallet. You in the middle of nowhere with nothing. I'm dead serious. I'm not making this up for like theatrics and shit. I'm telling you the truth. Like them skip tracing people, like they got some skip tracing people. This is what they do, and they good at it. Like it costs a lot of money, but Toyota is going to invest that money because they're going to make it back on the back end. So if they got to hire a private investigator to catch up with you and sit on you until you go to that truck, then that's what they're going to do. So it's deeper than what you think it is tucking the truck. They'll get to the point where you think you locking it up somewhere, they'll just break in and steal it. And they'll just deal with the lawsuit. They'll come on private property. Like if you parking it on the truck yard, they'll just follow somebody else in and take it from there. So you're parking on the truck yard thinking it's cool, but somebody else will come in, they'll sit on the yard, they'll follow somebody else in, and they'll drive it off. All they gotta do is get access. The key is already made. So, it's a lot. I just want to leave that on you, bro. That's what I'm saying, man.
I appreciate it.
I wouldn't even run the risk of putting yourself in a situation where you just gonna be stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's why I came home. I haven't ran in a couple weeks now because I gotta get everything figured out. The kid I moved in with didn't even have friggin' internet. Like I had to do all that shit just to get myself like a little home base and start to get to work.
Yeah, that's all good, but like you gotta take care of your responsibilities, bro. So yeah, man, I wish you the best, man. I'm sorry this is happening to you, but just next time, man, just make more sound decisions starting this business, man.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the trucks keep getting cheaper and kind of back to where they used to be. Be a little easier to get back into it if I want to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, you can always get back into it, but I think you need to cut your losses now before you get. I think right now you're just on the desperation. You talking about all these scams and going to Pennsylvania and switching. Like, man, come on,
But
man.
that's close to me though. That's only like an hour and a half. You know what I mean? It's
I hear you, but
and
you
speaking. I get a lot of business out there too. Like I get guys
I
calling
hear
me all
you,
the time.
but this is desperation. I hear it in your voice. You won't even let me talk. You keep over talking me. It's like
That's my fault.
you're in desperation mode. You don't want to accept the truth.
I'm a wound up dude. I'm just like that.
You gotta come from. You gotta move on so that you can start figuring other shit out. Like you're about to be $20,000 in debt on this truck. $20,000 is a lot of money to come from under. You got to catch up $20,000 just to be caught up. If you run for 4 weeks, $20,000 at $5,000 a week, $20,000 gross, and you take 10%, like how long do you think it's going to take you to save up 20 grand to pay 20 grand off? What are you going to sacrifice? You're not going to eat. What are you going to do? It's just too far, man, with the margins the way they are and your cost, your insurance cost. Like if you got out here and really, really ran, it might take you to the end of the year. But you're going to have to cut a lot of shit and you're running on the lamb. Like, what, you going to shit in the truck?
No,
I mean, the moment I hear what you're saying, but 20 grand is a lot of money. Then you owe the bank 8 grand. That's a lot. That's $30,000. I would just let that go, and that 30,000 that you're saving up could be going towards starting something else.
Could have been
better.
My second truck.
Just let that shit go on your credit. It's probably gonna sit on your credit for 7 years, and just deal with it, man. Build your credit back up, man. Try to get it removed, or 7 years, build it back up, man. Pay it off. But holding on to it, I think is going to put you in a worse situation. I
Just
would just
digging the
let
hole
it go
deeper.
and I would just let it go and try to come from under it.
Yeah.
See what they sell the truck for. You may not, once they sell the truck, they may sell it for. See, you bought the truck for sky high, so if they see, man,
Yeah,
how much?
it was like 69,000. I put down 15. I think half it, like 7 or 8, was taxes. I think.
So how
So
much do
like
you
I
still
don't
owe
really.
on it now? You still
I
probably
think
owe
I
about
owed
what,
like 50.
70 grand still?
I think I owed like 50.
Yeah, man. That shit, man. Just let that go, bro. Let it go, man. You know, ain't shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Well, I appreciate it.
But just stay tuned in, man. Don't stop watching the channel, man.
No, 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 dude. I'll be here.
And
This is grade A entertainment.
yeah, it can be sometimes. Just keep us updated with the decision you make.
The good thing is I don't get to see the comment section right now, so I don't have to see everybody talking shit about me.
Actually, ain't the only person that's talking bad is Axel. Everybody else is defending you.
He talks bad about everybody though.
Yeah, so I mean, the moderators have been deleting a lot of this shit. They haven't put them on timeout yet, but they've been deleting this shit.
Uh,
I see it. I see it, but I've been seeing it disappear. So they've been deleting it. So,
Let him talk shit. I don't care.
but for the most part, what'd you do? I hear myself in the back. You changed something.
My
I
car turned off. It was on Bluetooth and it went to the to like the speaker or whatever.
okay.
Because
Yeah.
I was sitting,
So
I only turned
yeah,
off.
yeah, because I hear the echo in the background now. But yeah, man. I'm gonna let you go, man. Just keep us updated with what's going on.
Sounds good, man. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Be safe.
Have a good night.
Yep. Yeah, man. So, well, this wasn't a call-in show. But we had a call in, so unfortunately, wasn't a good one. Hopefully, he works that situation out. Hopefully, he just dissolves the company and moves on. Yeah, it is what it is, man. So I mean, this is why we're here. Well, this is why I'm here to kind of help guide people. There's still a lot of people coming into the box truck space, believe it or not. I get hit up all the time with people, asking for guidance, and I tell them to call in on the call-in show, but they don't want to call in. So, for the most part, but this is a classic example of what I be talking about. The way you come in is the way you're going to exit. All right, you got to come in the right way. The margins are very low. You can't make rash decisions. Like all this shit has to be thought out. You just can't jump into this shit. You can get so far behind that it's just not like you just never catch up, man. And I just think that's the situation. And then another thing is too, like if you got a lot of personal shit going on, man, take care of your personal shit because you'll never be able to make sound business decisions when you got a lot of personal shit going on. I talk a lot about competition, and you're gonna be competing against people that don't got the problems that you got. This goes back to the rates. See, this is like it shit all goes back to the rates. So with his costs and him robbing from sustainability because he spent $2,800 a month for rent, $2,800 a month for insurance, $1,700 a month for his truck note, plus all the personal shit he got going on, legal custody battles and all this shit that he's probably robbing from sustainability to business to take care of all that shit. There's a person out there who came in with very low overhead that don't got none of that shit to pay for, and his cost per mile is going to be a lot lower. So, like all this shit plays into part, of everything that I be talking about. Everybody's situation is different. And because everybody's situation is different, that's going to determine, the scale of competition that you got to go against. Like, it's fucked up, man, but shit happens, man. So, response, I'm tight because I need to work and I have a lot. What is this talking about? Mark, why every time I go for an interview for a moving helper position, I don't get the job? I tell them what I know, all the experience I have, and it seems like they don't like that I've been trying to get work. Where are you located at? I even hit college hunks 3 times. No response. I'm tight. Where do you live at? What market are you in? Are you in Chicago? Are you in Chicago? Joshua, what market are you in? New York? What what are you American or are you like a immigrant? Not like an illegal immigrant. Like what are you? Dominican or what's your nationality? Somebody might be asking me like, man, Mark, what does that got to do with anything? I'm gonna tell you in a minute. You black? Well, that's probably why. How much are you asking to work? How much are you asking for? What are you asking for to pay? What are you asking for to pay? What up, Mark? Here in Cali, I found a truck for 52,164 a mile. What kind of truck is it? The Freightliner? 52,000 to me is pricey. I wouldn't go over 40. Me honestly, 52,000 is no, not me. Uh, you told me you'll start at 17. You got experience? Are you selling yourself? Have you had interview training recently? Which you really wouldn't need interview training for, moving, but you gotta also understand this too. A lot of these moving companies are hiring a lot of immigrants under the table. So, they may not even be paying them $17 an hour. This is prime example of the market shifting. Any moving company you would have walked into at any time at this time of the year, any year prior to 2023, they would tell you this: when can you start? Can you start yesterday? But now, this is a great prime example. Like a moving company now, you getting turned away from every moving company is because they probably got migrants working for less than $17 an hour, undocumented. And that's just the answer, and that's just the truth. But you need to just keep trying. Keep trying. Uh, 2019, Oh, that's why. 52 is kind of pricey for me. I wouldn't spend 52,000 on a truck. Me personally, I wouldn't spend 52. My max out would be 40. My max would be 40. And I wouldn't even try to max. I'd try to find something around the 25, $30,000 mark. 20 to 30,000, to be honest with you. I would search high and low, somewhere between 20 and 30,000. Yes, I would. Sure would. 50,000 to me, 52,000. Mm-mm. I wouldn't even be looking at a 2019, me personally. But that's up to you. If you feel like you can sustain and you're gonna be willing, you're gonna, pay the bill and you're gonna do what it needs to take to make sure the truck is paid. When they tack that interest on there and all that, this, that, and the third, then go for it. But me, I would want my margin to be a little bit bigger. So I'm looking in the $20,000 to $30,000 mark. That way we going in there with that cash. You dig what I'm saying? And we ain't gonna have to worry about that. But you in California, so I forget you got Gavin Newsom out there. You might not be able to get a 2016. So since you out of California, that may be what you gotta have to do. You gotta go with a newer truck. So because you in Cali, so I forgot you in Cali. So yeah, so that may be a good deal because that's what you because of the regulations out there. Uh, you can't get nothing too older. So Tony, yeah, that may be a good deal for you because you in Cali. You can't get like a 2016. I forgot because of the AB5 and all the bullshit Gavin Newsom got going on out there. Yeah, you gotta do it anyway because you in Cali. So yeah, that may be the best bet for you, then, Tony. Uh, uh, I think you should trade your 16-foot box truck in for a Sprinter. It depends. What's wrong? Why you want to trade it? The way these immigrants flooding in here is making it hard for everybody. This is exactly why I'm getting into my own business with the box truck. Yeah, so I think that's what your issue is. Who was that? Joshua. I think you're facing a migrant problem. I mean, you're not the only one facing it. This is something that we've been talking about, and now people are seeing it. I ran into a guy the other day on the live stream. I was talking to him. If you caught the live stream from Sunday, the first live stream, he's hiring migrants under the table, paying them $40 for 10 hours of work, and they're happy with it. So, with the cost of inflation and everybody trying to make it, including business owners, man, people are doing what they need to do to survive. So why pay you 17 when I can go pay a migrant $50 for the whole day? And I ain't even got to list them. I can say, oh, well, these trucks are parked. I only got 2 employees. And pay 2 employees, pay all the bills on 2 employees, and you got these guys on the truck undocumented. I'm running into people in the street having these conversations. They volunteering this information. And this guy was working for the bank. He's doing bank contracted work. And he got illegal people working for him. So it ain't nothing to send an illegal person into a consumer's home. It is for me to see my own kids. This country is fucked. My boy is dating a girl who's here on an expired visa. It's easier for her to get a driver's license as an illegal migrant or immigrant than it is for me to see my own kids. This country is fucked. Yeah. But we talk about this stuff on the channel all the time. It's a lot going on in this country, and this is why, I've been telling people we were going to get to this point. Everything I say, it comes into fruition, and now we're here. Like it's shit getting tougher, man. Like, and I'm gonna say this in part, and like the bullshit gotta stop, man. People gotta start taking their shit serious, man. It's people here to replace you for work. It's people here to replace you for business. Point blank, period. All right. If you're looking to get into this blue collar industry, like you gotta have your ducks in a row. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. And I'm out of here. These migrants and these people, they know how to do everything. They not finna go out and buy no $50,000, $60,000 truck. They getting the truck that's on Facebook Marketplace for $15,000 because one of the amigos know how to fix it, and they gonna fix that thing. They're gonna get the parts. They're gonna go get some Modelos, and they're gonna crawl up under that truck, and they're gonna fix it. If it take a week, they're gonna fix it, and they're gonna be off and running. Y'all see them with the old Isuzus, the old GMC or Chevys. C65, C7500s, 15, 20 years old, black smoke coming out the tailpipe. Like, damn, that truck's still running? Yeah, it's still running. You see 3 amigos on the truck. One of them is documented, the other 2 are illegal. These are facts. You gotta get your shit in order. You gotta take, like, everybody gotta take shit serious. Everybody. Like, it's not no time for games. It's not no time to not be knowing your cost per mile. It's not no time to just be running on the lamb, not taking your shit serious. It's not the time to be worried about Drake and Kendrick Lamar and all this goofball ass shit that everybody's worried about. You don't see me talking about Kendrick Lamar and Drake. All this shit people doing for algorithms to distract you from what the purpose is. The purpose is to get out here money. All this shit is distractions, man. That's why I don't do content to distract you. It's all distractions. You got to make sure you know what the fuck you doing out here, or you are going to be replaced. You're going to get left in the dust. Guess what? The competition is going to get harder. They not coming in with a lot of money, coming in with a certain amount of money that they're getting funded, and they're going to make that shit stretch. And they're going to outbid you in everything. Moving, running trucks, OTR, all that. They not worrying about the shit you worrying about. They not worrying about if the truck is rusted under the bottom. They not worrying about half the shit that y'all be worried about as Americans that's entitled. Even if you broke, you still entitled as an American. They not worried about none of that shit. They coming in to take everything that I train people to do. They coming in to do it to you. Period. So this is why you have to outsmart them. You know how to read. You know how to speak English. There's no way I'm going to let somebody that can't even speak English take my shit. Period. I'm not letting them do it. There's no way a person that wasn't raised in this culture, raised in this country, going to take my shit. There's no way a person who just got here, that's still learning the lay of the land, that can't speak English, gonna be able to leverage themselves better than me. Not letting it happen. This is where you gotta wise up, get smarter. They can't even read they can't speak it. How you gonna let somebody beat you? No. Know your cost per mile. Understand that when you come into this business, your cost should be as low as possible. Because guess what? Well, everybody's sitting there and I keep telling y'all, oh, well, Mark, they say it's going to get better. No, it's not. How? This is the new norm. If anything, it's going to get probably worse. Because you got a whole new wave of people that's coming in that's willing to work for less. And this is going to be your competition that's going to drive rates down further. See, this is not what these other people tell you because they don't look at this part of the business. They don't understand this shit. And everything we've been talking about is playing out. You got companies starting to lay people off. You got people that can't even find work. You see jobs listed, but they really not even hiring. I know the economy is in a worse position than the Fed is saying. Why? Because they're saying the job market is robust, but there's no opportunities available. I hear people looking for blue-collar jobs that can't find a job. I hear people sitting at the bar where I'm eating that's looking for white-collar jobs and they can't find a job. Tesla laid off another 4,000 employees. Route 21 just filed for bankruptcy. You got more retail stores, mall retail chains that are filing for bankruptcy. More restaurants closing locations. Macy's closing more locations. Cheesecake, Grand Lux closing locations. People went, why are you so hard on this person because you don't know his cost per mile? Because, man, if I don't be, who gonna be? See a person going, oh, man, you got a box truck, but he doing this thing. Motherfucker don't even know they cost per mile. Not doing your thing. You wasting time and you in the way. But keep pussyfooting around. And I'm not speaking to nobody. I'm just speaking to whoever feel like this is them. Keep pussyfooting and thinking shit gonna change. No, I get adapted to the way shit is now and compete. And that's it. I've never seen shit get better in 44 years. It's just always seen shit get worse. It gets worse, it gets more expensive, it gets worse, and you adapt. It gets more expensive, it gets worse, and you adapt. It gets more worse, it gets more expensive, and you adapt. We can go back 44 I can only go back 44 years. And in 44 years, everything that I've lived has gotten more expensive, worse, and you had to adapt. Fuel, cars, homes, groceries, rent, taxes, fucking property taxes, whatever. I've never seen say, oh, we're gonna make things better and we're gonna decrease this. I've never seen that happen. I watched this city go from a predominant black city to minority to a predominant minority Hispanic city. I've seen shit change. I've seen crime go from, bad to worse. Everything has gotten worse, more expensive, and you had to adapt. Same with business. Box truck business from when I got in 2010 is more expensive now. It's harder now. It's worse now. You got to adapt. It's not the way it was then. The rates are the same and everything else is expensive. And I tell people this all the time, but it goes in one ear and out the other. The rates that we were getting back then, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 years ago, you're getting those same rates now, except you're paying more for fuel, you're paying more for insurance, you're paying more for taxes, you're paying more for fucking tolls, you're paying more for your uniform, you're paying more for everything, your cell phone, you're paying more for your you got ELD now that they're mandated instead of a paper law. You got to pay a subscription for that. You're paying more to operate than what we were paying back then, and you're getting paid the same that we were getting paid back then. Why? It's regulated, but the rates, there's nobody governing the rates. Well, you know what? Let's scale the rates up with the cost of inflation. No, it doesn't matter because it's a marketplace, and the rates are based on the competition. The more competition in the market, the lower the rates. You introduce a new dynamic to the marketplace, an individual who's not, or individuals who are not entitled as we are. We're entitled. I'm entitled. You're entitled. I don't care if you're poor. I don't care if you don't got a pot to piss in, a window to throw it out of. If you are an American, you're entitled in comparison to a person who's coming from a third world country, a migrant who's came from over here from wherever and crossed jungles and crocodile swamp waters and things of that nature, you're more entitled than them. And you may be in an equal financial situation as them. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You can eventually get to a point where you can set yourself up, like whoever this, whatever was running around on his channel, talk about barricading the house. Yeah, you goddamn right. Because I'm already there. I'm not competing, and this is the place you want to be. You want to be to the point where you too far gone, where you're not competing. That level where you're starting your business is the hardest level because that's where your most competition is. You got to get up out that level. When you first get started, that's the hardest level. It ain't like a video game where you playing the easiest level. That's where your most competition is at. You at the bottom of the barrel. You like the crab trying to crawl up out the barrel and they trying to pull you back down. You got to get up out that barrel. You got to get up out that barrel, get to the top of that barrel, and right before you cross over that barrel, you look back down at they punk ass and say, hey, I'm like that sperm. It was $1 million. I was the one that made it. I'm about to be born in 9 months. All right? Hopefully y'all make it out one day, but I'm gone. And then once you get up out that barrel, you keep working, making money, and keep positioning yourself and setting yourself up for the future because guess what? You don't know what the future holds. You don't know what the future holds. Don't let nobody trick you up out your spot. Don't let nobody tell you that dumb shit that I hear all these people saying that the rates are going. Man, we are in normal times. This is normal. Pandemic been over with for 2 years now. 2 years.2 years. And people still saying get better. When? I've been saying for 2 years this is the norm. Freight rates tell you second quarter last year. And here we are in 24. And I said, nah, it's going to be the same way. I'm telling you the same shit now. Every week food is going up. I document. I spend it. I was paying $5.99 for a bag of Beyond Steak. Then it went to $6.99. This week it went to $7.99. Every other week it goes up $1. So how are things getting better? And they're telling Jerome Powell is telling us they're pausing the rates, but I'm looking at shit go up every fucking 2-3 weeks. So you keep waiting for it to get better, all right? Instead of trying to adapt to make money now, right? I've been saying this shit for over a year now. Wages, rates aren't scaling with the rate of inflation. It's not. The only way to curve it, to beat it, is by lowering your costs and delaying your gratification. If you have an excessive amount of shit that you got to pay for, that means you got to work harder or longer or more hours. You got to go get a second job. You got to go do something else on the side. You got to do what you got to do, or you need to cut some shit off. That's just the way it is. You got to lower your cost. One more, comparing X amount for insurance. Do you find another broker? No. Well, why aren't you shopping for another broker that can probably get you a better rate? Well, man, I called 2 brokers. Well, call a third. Call a fourth. Well, man, can I get the broker that? No, call your broker in your market. I can't. I'm giving you everything that you need. You got to do the work, because I'm not going to get bombarded with 30,000 people. I can't do it. I'm giving you all the information you need to win. You got to keep calling. You can't stop at the first or the second. It might take you 10 people down the line. These guys are adding shit that you probably don't even need. That's not even required to boost that rate up. Why are you paying for this? Why are you paying for towing and all this goofy shit? The probability of the truck breaking down is, there, but, we just get a tow and we deal with it. I'm not going to pay a residual fee on my insurance every fucking month that may add up to an additional $100, $150 for a fucking tow, and I don't need a tow for 2 years, let's say. But now I just paid an extra $100 a month. That's $2,400 I just paid. And then they getting 4 or 5% off of it because they finding shit to add to your policy that you don't even need. And you don't even see it on the Accord form because it's built into the declaration page, and you ain't took the time to read through all 15, 20 pages of the declaration. You know what I mean? Insurance policy I go through for people that send me that shit I'm going through. I'm like, you don't need this, you don't need this. This is not required by the FMCSA. You don't need this, you don't need that, you don't need this, you don't need that, you don't need this, you don't need that, you don't need this. I'm not paying for none of that shit. For what? The truck, something happens, I just call a tow truck. I'm not paying X amount of dollars a month for this shit. For what? But you allow somebody to tell you or put it on there, and you don't go do your due diligence, and then you just pay for the shit. All right. So adjust, man. Adjust. Settlements will come directly to me. I'm in charge of payouts. What is this? So rebuild term. This is annoying. But we have been to adjust since we said, so we have to adapt to around this. I'm doing a super. Somebody get a super chat. I'm sorry if I missed it. Let's see. Commando, I'm sorry. On the box trucks, what does that mean by provide a 2-person delivery team? Are most box truck jobs? I appreciate that super chat. Sorry I missed it. I probably was cooking or something. 2-person team means it's a final mile. So you're going to be either delivering furniture or appliances. Are most box truck jobs mandatory team driving? No. If it's a OTR, it's a 1-man. If it's a curbside, it's a 1-man. If it's 2 men, if they're asking for 2 men, then it's final mile. You're either gonna be doing furniture or appliance delivery. So that's a final mile contract, 2-man final mile contract. So if you're not into doing heavy lifting, furniture, appliances, then that's not the contract for you. Our box truck business still profitable? Yes, they are. I say it all the times. The way you come in is the way you're gonna exit. How you come in is how you gonna exit. There's people that's profiting. I tell you how to come in all the time. But you always gonna get people that want to do things their way. So you just come in with a Mark. Lots of companies and load boards ask for a truck that's 20 years old. You said they ask for a truck, or they They saying 20 years old is the max. If 20 years old is the max, then that would make a 2004 then, right? I'm not telling people to get a 2004. I'm telling people to get like a 2015, 2016. That's not 20 years old. It's not even 10 years old. But here's the thing. My last two trucks are '05s. The trucks that y'all seen Sunday, those are '05s. If I wanted to run those two trucks, I can guarantee you I'll make a shit ton of money in them trucks. But I'm gonna do what y'all not willing to do though. I'm gonna do what y'all not willing to do. And when you're a business owner, you gotta do what you have to do to make money or don't do it. I'm not gonna I remember I had to move phone books. Yeah, we didn't profit, but I had to keep the guys working. I know where the money is at. I know where the opportunity is at, and I know that the competition is there, but it's not there like what the majority of people that are looking to get into the box shop business are looking to do. They're looking to do Amazon. They're looking to go OTR. I don't want to go. I wouldn't want to go OTR. I wouldn't want to do Amazon. I want to make the money. And guess what? It's going to take some work. But guess what? I'm going to get down. I'm going to do some push-ups. I'm going to build my chest out. I'm going to make sure my shoulders are straight. I'm going to make sure my triceps and my biceps is good. I'm going to hit that damn Stairmaster and that goddamn that treadmill. I'm going to make sure that I'm ready for that first day, and I'm going to go hit them stairs. And I'm going to move these people furniture. I'm going to charge them $200, $250, $300 an hour, depending on what floor. And I'm going to make money. I'm going to come home every day with them 16 footers that I still got with $1,500 to $2,000 every single day. Maybe 3,000. If I can get me 3 moves and averaging about 3 to 4 hours each move, that's going to be about $3,000 a day gross. And I'm going to let y'all figure out about these rates and all this other shit. I'm going to do what the majority ain't willing to do. I'm going to get that money. I'm going to set a plan. I'm going to run it up from from start to finish. I'm going to create an exit plan, an exit day, and an exit strategy. I'm going to understand, okay, this is when I need exit, so this is what I need to make, and I'm going to run it up. Bro, you make this shit sound great. Yeah, I know. And everybody that listen to me, they come back and say, man, I wish I had listened to you sooner. Listen, it is. You just gotta do what don't nobody else want to do. If you steady going into an area where it's an overabundance of supply, you got more people to compete against, especially if you're going over there and your costs are high. You got an area over here that the supply is not an overabundance. Work is harder. Pay is way better. Work is harder. Less supply. No middlemen. But no one wants to go over there because it's too hard. So what do you want me to do? Is an exit strategy a must? Of course. Of course. Nothing lasts forever in business. And if you think so, do me a favor. Go talk to Venture, go talk to Kmart, go talk to Borders, go talk to Montgomery Ward, go talk to Sears, go talk to KB, go talk to FAO Schwartz, go talk to Marshall Fields, go talk to shit. Let me think of some other companies here. Go talk to Lordstown, go talk to I want to name some other companies. I want to name some like tech companies and shit. Oh man, I'm having a brain freeze. Go talk to any company that is no longer here, that was making money 20, 30 years. Not no company that was in business 1 or 2 years. Talk to some companies that were in business 20, 30, 40, 50 years. All right. Nothing lasts forever. You always gotta have an exit strategy. Yeah, I thought that too, but it's not something that is going to sustain. I don't think it's going to sustain that long. I think if you're in trucking, I think you run up your bag and I think you exit. We're not in the times anymore where you're passing businesses down. We're in the time frame where you build something up, you profit, and when you're at the peak, when you're at the top, and when the market is right, you exit. Guess what? Guess what? If I didn't exit in 2022, I would be fucked right now. I exited at the top of the market. Best decision I ever made. I would be fucked. Literally fucked. Why? Because I would have been kicking myself that I didn't sell those trucks, because I could have made profit from trucks that I ran into the ground that were over 10 years old, that were paid for, that would still be sitting there when no one still wants to work. And I would be saying, Mark, why didn't you follow your first mind and exit? Your exit was right there. You were looking at the door, the exit door. So what do you mean? In 2013, I told this story the other day. I thought this was something that I could pass down. And then guess what? The contract that was my most coveted contract, I lost it by default. Why? Because Dynamic lost it. So what I was running, I was making my most money from, the 3PL lost it. So I lost it by default. All right? You take the money, you make the money, you transition that money into other things that are more sustainable for the long run. You get in, you start something active that's labor intensive, that's hard. You make the money, you invest into those things that are passive, where you still can make that much money or more with doing less work, but a multitude of different things. Do we exit if money wasn't made to your goals? You have to make money. That's the thing. You got to make the money. So when I say create an exit plan, your exit plan may be 10 years. It may be 15 years. You know, here's the thing. You're exiting to an industry now that is popular. It wasn't popular when I got in. So I don't know if the 13-year lifespan that I had, if that lifespan now may be 8 years, or maybe 9 years, or maybe 10 years. Look at the people that got into the Amazon thing during the pandemic, that had this blueprint of business plan. You don't hear that same sentiment as you did about Amazon in 2021 and 2020 and the first half of 2022. You don't hear that same sentiment. You don't hear that same sentiment about middle mile. Moving is scaled up. Why? Because you're dealing directly with the consumer, and the labor rate is scaling with the cost of inflation. When I first got started, I was paying movers $10. Now movers are making $30 an hour. I was paying movers, before I exited, $25 to $60 an hour. There's no marketplace. I'm not competing against a bunch of competition or market. I'm paying the labor rate at the cost of raising. I'm scaling it with the cost of inflation. Why? Because I know that McDonald's is paying $21 to flip fucking burgers. So I can't pay a guy $20 to carry somebody's couch up 3 flights of stairs on a 90-degree day. I got to pay him $50. And I just go up on a customer. So now that 3-man move that was once $100 an hour 10, 15 years ago, on the third floor, it's now $300 an hour, because I'm charging you $100 a man and the customer's paying it. Now the employee gets more, I get more. But so that business, I can scale it, I can make more money, I can set an exit plan, and I can get going. If there's more competition into the market, because we're in a society now where everybody wants to work for themselves, and trucking is one of the first things people go to. So now you have more increased competition, which is going to lower rates because you have more supply, right, coming into the market. And the cost of operating this business is rising up, but the rates are not rising with the cost of inflation. Now, that 15-year window, maybe only 6 years. I don't know. I haven't looked that deep into it because I'm not looking into it from a person who's looking to get into it right now. That's something that you would have to look into. The rates aren't lower, they're the same. The rates are the same. People think the rates are lower because they haven't been in the business long enough. Experienced people will tell you the rates are the same. Everything else has gone up. Rates are the same. It's final mile contracts right now that are paying $500 and $600 guaranteed. I tell y'all this, IKEA was giving me $500 in 2013, Monday through Friday, $600 on the weekend. You got guys running Bob's right now for $600 fucking dollars in 2024. $600 in 2013 and $600 in 2014 is not the same $600. Why? Because the costs were a lot lower back then. A fucking 26-foot box truck rental was $450 a week, and they would give you 1,500 free miles. Gas wasn't as high as it is now. Insurance wasn't as high as it is now. Tolls weren't as high as they were now. Labor is not as high then as it is now. Insurance is not as high then as it is now. $600. It's not the same $600. That $600 guarantee in 2013 took me a lot farther than that $600 is going to take you now. That dollar in 2013 is going to take you farther than that dollar is going to take you now. We'll make it easy. Why? McDonald's, they had a value meal. You go get you a McChicken for $1, a fry for $1, or ice cream cone for $1, or whatever for $1. That shit don't even exist no more. So the rates haven't gone down. The rates are the same. Everything else has gone up. There's nothing governing the rates to scale with the rate of inflation. It's a marketplace. So the only way to compete is by lowering your costs by any means necessary. So you got to think about that. All right, I got to go. I'm tired. All right. I've been on longer than I should have been. All right. I'm sorry. I got to go. I'm tired, y'all. All right, until next time, y'all. I hate to cut it off like this, but I'm getting sleepy. Then I'm going to start rambling and shit ain't going to make no sense. All right, I got to go, man. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.